So let's go. Hot or not new Gymshark wear. Sweat or flex?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, in case we haven't noticed, Gymshark launched some brand new sweat and fleck on the same exact day. I'm not gonna lie, that surprised me. I was expecting the fleck to come later in the month, but you know Gymshark and their little surprises. So I figured we would address both collections in today's video, being that they launched the same day. I got a lot of questions asking, well, what's the difference? I'm new to these collections. So here I am today to break it down for you. We will be talking about each collection individually. Then at the end, we're gonna throw them in the ring together and see which one's best for you. Thank you so much to Gymshark for sponsoring today's video. Every single item you see in today's video will be linked down below. Here you can find my measurements, and I'll also have them in the description box below for your reference. Everything in today's video is in my true size small. So if you'd like to brush up on some Gymshark launches, take a look at my Gymshark playlist. I have over 100 dedicated Gymshark videos here on this channel. Sweat and Fleck, I already did intense reviews on both of these collections. In fact, Sweat made its debut just last year, in like October, so it hasn't been very long. They did make some updates to that Sweat. Much needed updates, mind you. They heard what you were saying. Fleck is a little more straightforward. Nothing really has changed with this one. This is a collection that's been very consistent. They always launch the same exact pieces. We're looking at sports bras and leggings. That's it. So let's go ahead and check out the Fleck first. For the Fleck color palette, we're looking at mineral black. It's basically black, but the Fleck colors are just a light gray. Who guessed this was my favorite? You know me. If you look closely, teal base, aquamarine speckle. I wore this color to the gym, loved it. Evening blue. The base is that evening blue that we've seen before many times. The speckle is a dark navy blue. Sandstone brown. This is as nude as it's gonna get in this palette. You have a really beautiful warm clay color with a dark brown speckle print. This is the rogue piece of the group. The one piece that just doesn't want to play by the rules, this color in this legging is it. This is their chocolate brown speckle. It's hard to see from far away. So if you're at a safe distance, you might think that this is a solid legging. It's not until you really come up close is where you see that speckle. Since I already have the leggings in my hands, let's go ahead and do a mini review. If you're familiar with this collection, nothing has changed since the last drop, just new colors. Speaking of colors, this chocolate brown, I don't know what happened, but this chocolate brown is seriously so snug on me that I thought I sized down. All the other colors were just fine. They were super consistent, fit the same way, same amount of compression, the ease of getting it up, all virtually the same. For some reason, this was the odd man out, where it was very hard to get past my hips, and when I did, squatting down, I thought this baby was gonna rip. Yeah, there's something about this color. Beware, you're gonna have to size up completely if you even decide to get this one. But like I said, the other colors, totally true to size. I would only ever suggest sizing up if you're in between sizes. A couple things worth noting about this legging. When you feel it, it feels rough to the touch. It's got a little bit of texture. It's still soft, but not silky, buttery, soft material. The waistband is very squared off. They don't have a tapered band, nothing like that. It's a very squared off band with not a ton ton of compression. From my experience, because the rest of the legging is pretty compressive, it shocks me that the band just isn't there. It doesn't quite match up with the rest of the legging. In fact, when I squat, I see a little baby band gape. That's with all of the leggings. Not enough to be exposing, nothing to worry about, and I definitely wouldn't size down because of that. If there was less space in this glute area, I wouldn't comfortably be able to wear this legging. So much so that I'm gonna go ahead and say, if you have a plump dump, like you hip thrust, and everyone knows it, this is gonna be the area that might give you some problems. I know I'm on the brim of this being a little too small for me. The material is relatively stretchy, I'll give it that, but not to the point where it's super accommodating for big booties. I do believe that this raised seam contour works wonders. Without it, I do think it would have caused a uni butt. A couple things I really do love about this legging though, I have to say, it's pretty good with cellulite. Sweat concealment, nice. Length, perfection. 5'3", ooh yeah. In terms of squat proof, it's about 90% squat proof, especially in this light color. Not the most breathable legging, however, because it is a very dense, thick material. But with that being said, it's super durable. This is the quintessential lifting legging, in my opinion. If you have weights touching, rubbing around, you're deadlifting, this is what you want to wear. You're not worrying about it being super fragile where it's going to tear and rip. Even though there's no front seam, I get a slight dreaded CT. Nothing extreme, but sometimes I have to do a little bit of maneuvering and readjusting. Let's chat about the Fleck bras. Something worth noting, even though the chocolate brown leggings were super tight, oddly tight, I didn't feel that in the bra. This chocolate brown bra fit like the other ones. Nothing has changed since the last launch. I've always felt that these bras ran snug. I think it might be the double lining. You know, there's two bras in one, mind you. This is a unique look to this collection. In fact, I really like this sports bra. I think it's beautiful. Top layer has way more coverage. Underneath is more of a V-neck sports bra. And here is where you'll see a marl design. So even though the top is Fleck, underneath is straight marl. The thing with this bra is it gets a little squirrely. Even though it fits very snug, and my instinct gut reaction is, oh, I should have sized up. It does dig into the back, around the arms. It can be a little uncomfortable after a while, but I wouldn't want to size up because me, with my measurements, I don't have a lot of chest. This bra requires some chest. So if you were to size up and you got small girls like me, you're gonna have a lot of extra space right here in the bra area. In other words, it's not the most flattering. I actually would love to see them take this top layer and be gone with it. Put a little more of a V going down here, show the girls off a little bit, and then we'll talk. But I see why they added the top layer. They do the 2 layers to add more support to the bra. Me, I don't need that much support. But if you do, that's good for you, right? So you still have the removable bra pads, no adjustments at all in the back, even though the eye may fool you. You might think that these plastic pieces are adjusters. They're not. So yeah, this bra's got a lot going on. There's a lot of potential in it. I just feel like, for me and my preferences nowadays, I would like to see a little less material. Now, even though Gymshark has launched long sleeves in the Fleck before, they didn't this time around. And you know what? I can't help but notice they never released Fleck shorts either. Okay, these colors all together just make me happy. They look like a really pretty pastel rainbow. You remember those pastel Skittles they came out with? We're looking at evening blue yet again. Hello. Terracotta pink. Dusty olive. Ooh, this is such a pretty olive green. In fact, when I tease this color palette on my Instagram stories, my sister-in-law, she's 14 years old, she DMs me and says, that green is giving. She's right, this green is giving. I think that just means it's awesome. My sister-in-law and I are very close, and she just recently started to get into Gymshark. I'm so excited because now that's all we ever talk about. Aerospace orange. I grabbed them in the shorts because bright colors in the shorts is a necessity, and paradise blue. This looks so familiar. In fact, I think I have an Energy Seamless set in this exact color. One of my very first ever purchases from Gymshark was Energy Seamless. This color was it. Now they're calling this paradise blue, and the blue back then was called tropical blue. I think it's the same blue. Got you, Gymshark. So in this collection, they dropped leggings, sports bras, 2 different types of sports bras to be exact, shorts, a long sleeve top, and a vest. Let's start with the leggings and shorts. They got rid of the thong contour. That was the biggest complaint that I got in my DMs was, why the thong patch? Why? I'm trying to conceal my underwear, not pronounce anything. So really nice improvement there. Everything else is still the same. It's that dynamic material that they use, which is buttery, soft, nice and stretchy, very thick and durable material. Now, they kept the band the same, that really nice curved band. How do we feel about that? I actually love it. Let me tell you why. I feel like this band, out of any other band they've ever come out with, snatches the waist like I've never seen. It makes my hips literally pop. It gives me hips, in other words. If you look closely on the waistband, there's a 3-panel ribbing. The rib at the very top is super thick, and then it goes down to being very minimal. Really helps with that triangular cut, emphasizes the waist. The waistband is so compressive, so freaking compressive, whereas the rest of the legging isn't nearly as compressive. No seam breakups, no contour paneling, but you do have a ton of the eyelet designs. This goes down the leg. They spread out really nicely across the calves, but something worth noting is that this isn't very cellulite friendly. So if I'm in between sizes, I would size up, because if this waistband was any smaller, it'd be a little too small, where it's just digging uncomfortably. The green was very compressive on me. I noticed the band dug a little too much. Sizing up completely, there's pros and cons. Less compressive waistband, so it might fit better around the waist area, but you're also gonna be compromising the fit underneath the band. There's potentially going to be more wrinkle. That's the only thing that's stopping me from sizing up a full size. I can't help but notice with this material, where it meets the band gets really wrinkly. So you can see it in this overlap footage. When I walk too, you can really see that wrinkle. I just feel like if I were to size up, you're asking for way more wrinkle. This material is so subject to that. Overall, I'd say true to size would be your best bet. Stick with your true size. The length is long. For my tall gals, okay, this is the one you wanna go with. In terms of sheerness, they were okay, totally passable for the gym. I'd give it more of an 85% squat proof. Again, it ultimately depends on the lighting. No dreaded CT. When it comes to the back area, I feel like it's okay on the glutes, just okay. I feel like this material gives me a slight uni butt, but I also understand that it's not always about that. It's about the functionality of the legging, what you're actually gonna be using it for, how it performs in the gym. And I do feel like the sweat collection is a very gym-friendly collection. I didn't notice any crazy differences when it came to the colors. I think if anything, the olive green felt a little more snug around the waist, but other than that, the leggings were very consistent. I actually still, to this day, prefer the sweat shorts over the leggings, and that's saying something. I feel like the cinching in the thigh is at such a minimum where I don't feel weird wearing them. These don't bother me like that. I'm a huge fan of the sweat shorts. I said this in the previous review that I prefer the shorts over the leggings, and I'm still gonna go ahead and say that. I think these are at such a beautiful length where they're not gonna roll and snatch so easily as if they were really short shorts. Squatting in these no roll up, I didn't wear them to the gym though, so I don't know how they're gonna hold up if you put your legs up on a leg press or do hip abductor machines and things like that. I also feel like the shorts, you don't see as much wrinkling. Is it just me? I feel like there's a better lay overall. So I think that the less material, the better when it comes to sweat. I don't know. In terms of sports bras, we now have two to choose from. Say hello to the new Sweat Seamless Longline Sports Bra. So first you got the standard Sweat Seamless. This launched last round. Makes the girls look so unreal, but there's some downfalls. You absolutely need to size up in this bra. I actually forgot to size up this time around, and when I got it in, I was upset because it's just, this band is so freaking tight, so tight. When I got it around my head, I was like, damn it. You got double thin straps that lead into a sewn back thong, a little mini one right here. Now I will say, this holds the girls in really well. There's a real good level of support, even though it plunges. You still have the removable bra pads, everything stayed the same, the heavy rib at the bottom band here. My only takeaway from this is you just have to size up. This is super uncomfortable because it's so freaking tight. The new long line, however, I think they corrected some of the sizing issues with this one a little too well. And what I mean by that is, it's really wrinkly. They added more coverage in the front, which I think is great because not everybody wants a ton of cleavage when working out, especially. Some people are actually at the gym to work out and not just put on a fashion show like me. So you still have the straps that go in the back here. They do crisscross and they are adjustable. You have two plastic pieces that adjust. These two adjustable straps control the width of this band right here, the area underneath your armpits, but it is a lot less compressive than the other sports bra. So I'm wearing my true size small. As you can see, see, the wrinkle is insane. If you're in between especially, size down in this sports bra rather than up in the other one. They're very different. You do have removable bra pads in this as well. Overall, I would say this is not necessarily a ton more support, but it's definitely more coverage. I'm actually a huge fan of the cropped tank that they launched. You can even see the silhouette, just looking at it right here. The ribbed area really cinches you in. This band also helps to keep it in place. This way, if you're really moving around at the gym, the tank's not sliding up, it's not moving around, it's staying put where it needs to be. You can even see, looking off to the side, they added a little extra space here for your boobies. You have a lot of the tiny eyelets all around, right on the back. They have a panel going straight down the spine. They added in a low keyhole design, and if you're wearing the matching sports bra underneath, you will see the shark face logo coming through. Overall, the fit is very true to size. I think it's very flattering, a nice piece to add to the set in case you want a little bit of coverage on the tummy area. No digging in any awkward places. Overall, a solid tank top. And last but not least, let's just briefly talk about this long sleeve I've been wearing throughout the entire video. Do you remember the Breeze Lightweight? Those long sleeves? They really gotta bring back that Breeze Lightweight. Let's petition for that next. This is pretty much the same thing. That tank was very dense. This is a super feather, lightweight, stretchy piece. You have a lot of length here. Look at, this is covering my hands and there's no thumb holes to be had. If you're in between, definitely size down with this. It's got an oversized fit. Now I have this tucked in, but if I were to tuck it out like this, you have that draw cord like the Breeze Lightweight did. So you can make it very boxy if you'd like, add a little bit of length, cover up the torso, or like me, completely cinch it in. This is a really nice lightweight long sleeve to add over a set. They added the eyelet details right where they should be, right underneath the armpits. Okay, it makes sense for the sweat collection because you're gonna sweat in it, right? Okay, so now's the part of the video where we're gonna discuss the key differences between the two collections. There's a lot of similarities, but there's also a lot of differences. If you're somebody where material really matters, you want as soft as can be, sweat is where you wanna be. Why did I say that? This is a very soft, buttery soft material, whereas the Fleck has more of that durability, that little grit grime feel to it. Breathability, you might wanna grab the Sweat. Between the eyelet designs and the material itself, this is just gonna be best for wicking sweat and keeping you cool. The Fleck is very insulating. This is like a thermal legging, almost like the Camo. It's also gonna make your sweat soggy. This material won't wick as well as the Sweat, but what it does do is it conceals the sweat. Band compression and support, obviously the Sweat. This has 10 times the compression. Cellulite, this conceals cellulite like no other. Short gal friendly, the Adapt Fleck. For my tall gals, Sweat collection. Which one's more flattering on the peach? I gotta hand it to the Fleck. Overall, leg compression, not waistband, just the leg. I have to say they're super similar in that department. They are. The biggest compression difference is all in the band. Overall comfort, I'm still going with the Fleck, 100%. When it comes to the waistband, it has to be ultra comfortable or else I can't wear it all day. This would be something I wear to the gym and then take it off. Overall aesthetic, I'm gonna have to give it to the Fleck. Not just so much the Fleckle. I'm talking about how it lays as well. The wrinkle in the Sweat is a little deterring for me, especially when you compare it to the Fleck. Durability, this one's tough. I will have to go with the Fleck ever so slightly more because you don't have that real buttery, slippery, soft material. This is more of that rough and tough material. I also have to say because there's literally no seam around the waistband on the Fleck, and you do have it here on the Sweat, that could cause potential seam lifts, a little shedding of the seam, and honestly, last but not least, affordability. These are practically the same price. They're both $60 leggings, and I even believe the sports bras are like the same price, maybe $1 off from each other. Me personally, if I had to choose between the two, my heart will forever be in the Adapt family, and I don't think that there's a legging that will make me change my mind. Drop a comment below. Are you team Fleck or are you team Sweat? Hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. And if you did and would like to see more, definitely consider subscribing. It helps this channel out more than you know. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and I will catch you in my next video. Back at it with another highly requested video. We are here to chat about none other than Patoola Active. Patoola Matata. What a wonderful phrase.
It means don't worry.
Or, as I like to call it, Patoola oblongata. Don't ask. Whenever I think of the word patoola, I think of medulla oblongata or whatever that is. Patoola's got a nice ring to it. It actually stands for Passion to Unite and Live Active. Who knew? General overall vibes, off the bat, I'm seeing them as more of an overall athleisure brand. I'm pretty sure that's what they classify themselves as. I saw a little background tag that came with one of the pieces, and this is what it said. Activewear for the errand running, gym kicking, schedule dominating individual who needs clothing that can keep up, look great, and feel even better. Active could be anything. Doesn't mean you have to go to the gym, rah, rah, rah. Whether it's school, a family, you name it. Busy, busy, busy. This video is brought to you in part by Ebby, empowered by you. Ebby specializes in seamless undergarments. And for my gym ladies, attention. Ebby's undies are great for wearing underneath your gym leggings. Their premium material blend balances stretch and support, and their slip-proof technology keeps your panties in place. So if you're squatting, lunging, if it's leg day, you don't have to worry about VPL. The fabric lays right up against your skin, super cool and breathable, and they come in a variety of flesh tones, bright colors, you name it. I have so many of their nude high-waisted thongs, it's crazy. That's really all I wear underneath my gym leggings. But don't get it twisted, they also have different styles depending on your preference. You like briefs, low-rise, they even have bodysuits. Speaking of which, I wanted to share with you today some of their brand new releases. I have here today the Pink Lady and Skyway Blue bralettes. These are two different bralettes. As you can see, the Pink Lady bralette has no adjustments, a little more coverage going on in the back. You also have thicker straps, removable bra pads, and a really pretty delicate V-neck. I think I prefer the Skyway Blue bralette a little bit more. Here's why. We have adjustable spaghetti straps, a very natural scoop neckline, and over on the back, it's a full-on breathable mesh. So even though we have two different styles here, there's a lot in common. They're both lightweight, breathable, and have removable bra pads. It really is about your preference and what you're choosing to wear with it. In the Skyway Blue, I have the high-waisted thong, and in the Pink Lady, I have the brief. This is perfect for those who prefer more coverage on the backside, but still don't want that VPL. The high-waisted thong, you already know, I'm gonna get the most use out of this. These are definitely my favorite cut from what Ebby has to offer, so definitely check them out. I'll have them linked down below, and if you see anything you like, feel free to use code AshleyGaita for 15% off your entire order. Right over here, you can find all of my measurements. I'll also have them down in the description box below for you to reference. And I will also have every single piece you see in today's video linked down below as well, in case you want to take a closer look. Ironically enough, last week, I hopped on Instagram stories and I shared with you a little breakdown of what videos to expect here on YouTube next. I tagged Tala, Patoola, Amazon, Buff Bunny, you name it. Patoola actually reached out from that tag and offered me a code for you guys. This is just a code to offer you guys 5% off of your order. The code is ASHG, and thank you so much if you do choose to use it. Please let me know so I can thank you. When I saw this hooded sports bra, I was automatically sold. And you know I like that uniqueness, so of course I had to grab it. I'm not gonna lie, there was barely any colors to choose from. I think this was the only one left, periwinkle. Not complaining because I actually love periwinkle. It's hard to match with a lot of things, but nevertheless, it's a pretty color. I wanted to try this piece so bad that I actually went with an extra small because that's all they had available. So I wasn't able to try my true size small, and I'm really, really glad that I did. It was meant to be. Fate had my back with this one. There's a reflective strip following the zipper. Nice contrast with that black zipper. The lining really just makes it pop. This is a bit of a long line bra, so there's a ton of coverage. This is not an actual band, just a little flap. The hood is really nice and large, but lightweight, so it's not choking you out. This is a racer back. Beautiful keyhole design. There's no adjustments, but you do have removable bra pads. What I really appreciated about this bra hoodie is the fact that there was no digging. The cut right around the arms was perfection for me. There was no bra bulge, nothing uncomfortable and unsettling, especially considering I sized down to an extra small. Right on the back hood, you can see the logo. This one's written out. This is printed. It's not a patch. It's not a rubberized logo. It's printed. Now, there's not a ton of support in this bra, but for what I need and to look chic, yeah. The material is very soft. It feels almost slightly brushed, almost like Buff Bunny's Legacy leggings. A little bit of Newbray going on. That's what I feel. Very overall thick material. Keep that in mind. It's still very lightweight, comfortable to wear, but there's some thickness to this. Good amount of stretch too, so overall very comfortable to wear. I decided to try the Peak legging in the color Spruce. Now, this is in my true size small. Take a look at this pattern. It looks more beautiful in person. Online, I was like, you know what? I think I like it. In person, I was like, yeah, I really do like it. I feel like this looks like mermaid scales. If you look up closely, this design is slightly raised. You can feel the texture when you move your hand down the legging. This is not your silky, buttery soft. There's truly a ton of stretch in this. I would say sticking to my true size was a really good call. If you're in between though, down is where you want to go. My biggest concern when grabbing these was, is the pattern gonna fade? Just like any pattern legging, if it's of inferior quality, when you squat or move around or around the meaty areas of your body is where it's gonna fade to white. Luckily, these did not. There was no sign of fade anywhere. A big reason is because they didn't skimp on the lining. If you look here, it's actually the same exact color, no white lining, no front seam. You do have a back seam, and they separate the glutes pretty nicely. Now, because it's such low compression, I feel like there's nothing actually getting sandwiched in. I would not wear this doing anything crazy like running. I really do believe that if there's a legging you could get away with wearing to the gym, you might be able to get away with this one. And I feel like the comfort level is just there, so if you want to wear it for all day use, yeah. When squatting in these, I noticed there was a ton of gusset space. These leggings really moved with you. I know that a lot of their leggings are offered in 23 or 26 inch. You already know me being 5'3", I have to go with a 23 inch. Very cellulite friendly and super squat proof. If there's anything in this haul that I would wear to the gym, it would be these, the Peak leggings. Let's do a whole 180 and check out the Taylor legging. This is so different than the Peak legging. Two totally different animals. Actually, it was Bay who grabbed this out of the bag. His first instant reaction was, holy crap, like this is so freaking soft. This is a 23 inch inseam I chose. There's 3 different inseams that you can choose from with this legging. 23, 26, and 28. So first thing I noticed, other than the ultra buttery soft fabric, was how thin these are. These are so thin. Not very cellulite friendly, but this is totally second skin, 100%. They're also really good at not placing seams at the top of the band. Nobody likes that. Really nice V-seam on the back. You also have a seam separating the glutes. I think it's very flattering on the peach, but that's because there's really no support. None in the waistband, none in the rest of the leggings, nada. We have extreme stretch. There's no doubt about that. These are so comfortable to wear. If you're somebody who just is dying to grab a pair of leggings that you can wear all day and possibly even sleep in, Taylor leggings. Except for actually deadlifting or going to the gym or running or sweating. This is the epitome of a lifestyle legging. Came across the Petula Bare Warmth. The reviews on this legging were so good. I was like, all right, this has to come home with me. This is in their color Ice Gray. I felt like it was very fitting for the winter. I didn't mind going with any crazy colors, maroons and things. I just wanted more of a neutral winter color. I actually grabbed this one in a 26 inch inseam. They ran out of the 23 inch inseam, but I wanted it so bad that I didn't mind. This is what they actually wrote on their website. This ultra stretch, ultra soft fabric has a subtle, fine, velvety fleece feel on the interior with a brushed exterior. Still breathable, but with a little added warmth for this winter season. Do you want to know what this fabric reminded me of instantly? Aloe Yoga's Aloe Soft material. If you've ever tried that material, this is it. This is better. Why? Because there's no front seam. All of Alo Yoga's Alo Soft leggings have had a really heavy front seam. That was always the deciding factor of me sending them back. These do not. So for this legging, this actually has a crossover V waistband, but the material doesn't actually cross over, if you know what I mean. It's actually stitched together at the crossover. This way, really admire them for this one because now these flaps stay in place. Out of the leggings I just shared with you, this definitely has the most compression. I think sticking to my true size was perfect. Just like the other leggings, they still kept the high arched back V seam. This does give a flattering look on the glutes. I actually felt when I first put them on, this back middle seam rode up a bit. I would say this isn't very cellulite friendly, even though it's more compressive than the other leggings. Even though these are thermal based, thicker material leggings, they're not very squat proof. Now this is a very light shade of gray, but when squatting, I can see the tag through the leggings. Now granted, I'm never gonna wear these to the gym. They're really only for me to go outside in and walk and do what I gotta do. Something these leggings all have in common, if you look closely, the band is slightly tapered. It arches in ever so slightly to create a dynamic look around the waist. Something else they all have in common, in case you haven't noticed, none of them were seamless. They all have very minimal seams. That's really the only way I would wear seamed leggings. I'm actually not a fan of leggings that have a ton of seam contour around the leg, over the kneecap and things like that. 9 out of 10 times I always really feel it, and it's never truly comfortable for me. I can do without them. In fact, that is what deterred me from one of Petula's leggings. I did notice they had what appeared to be more of a gym-friendly legging. I'll insert a picture here. Let me know if you guys have tried it. But I wasn't a fan of all the seams everywhere. I don't want to see all of that. I just had to grab a matching athleisure set in the color vanilla. I think what sold me initially on this was the heavy rib. There's a sophistication to this set that really stood out to me. Between the mock neck top, the back pockets, just something about it screamed semi-professional. Not that I am. Yet again, they did not have my size small in the matching top. This crop top I had to size down to an extra small. Yet again, I'm glad I did. I guess sizing down in their tops are just the way to go for me. The mock neck fits pretty well, comes to a comfortable length, covers most of the midsection, and it's tight enough where I feel like I don't necessarily need to wear a bralette underneath. I'll still go to the store without a bra, I don't care. The heavy rib helps to conceal right here. Stuck with my true size small for the leggings. First thing I noticed is this is a bit of a rougher texture than the other materials. Not as soft, it's very lightweight and breathable, but there's a level of stiffness to this set. In fact, when I put these leggings on, they had a really decent stretch to them, but I noticed a little bit of bunching and wrinkling right underneath the glutes. The stiffness of the material causes a little bit of wrinkle there. I didn't notice it at all with the top. The top is very body fit, so it was very snug against my body, but this one in particular was cool because of the back pockets. Having them on the back, I feel like could help make the glutes look a little bit perkier because when the pockets are placed high, it automatically lifts the glutes. It's an illusion. This time, they did a black logo. Nice heavy contrast. They don't like tonal here, do they? Now these are completely sheer when squatting. Just like the previous leggings, you can see the tag right through it. Again, not a huge deal. Not really planning on doing a whole lot in these, except for maybe running errands and going out, or just lounging. Yeah, overall, a really high quality ribbed athleisure set. I'd highly recommend. So there we have it, our very first Petula review haul on this channel. What are our thoughts? For me, first impression, I got really good vibes from this brand. This isn't necessarily on the super affordable route. There's no denying that. I paid an average of $70 a legging. I think one of them I got on sale for $53. So it's not Camo Fitness level of affordability. This is definitely in the range of Alphalete Buff Bunny price point. Now for the quality of what I received, I do think the price point is fair. This is about how much you pay for a decent quality legging nowadays. The big question at hand, would I buy from them again? Yes, absolutely. In fact, if you guys have tried them before and there's a piece you really love, please comment down below and let me know so I know what to try next. Really appreciate you guys being here. If you have any other requests on brands you'd like to see, comment down below. I love you guys and I'll catch you in my next video.
Your homebrew head cannon is about to meld in the sun, was down to twice the weight depending on the episode.
really include either of those because it's kind of impossible to do so in a serious manner. It doesn't count. And I'm not giving Simpsons any gold stars for more one-off gags about bullied boys going into women in the made-up alternative timeline future. You've got to work hard on this to get a tip from me.
I'm sorry. That's a funny joke.
The question of where are the trans stuff in The Simpsons leads us to this new question. Now that we know the dire state of the trans stuff in the show, which is who is to blame? In a show like The Simpsons, which has many showrunners and many writers and many influences on it, that's actually really hard to answer. It would be easy to say that it must be because of Fox and Murdoch, but they haven't owned The Simpsons in a while. It's been Disney for the past 4 years. So maybe it's Fox and Disney who are at fault for this combined. They're clamping down the attempts by the writers to write trans narratives into their show because the studios are afraid that it might impact upon them in some way or it might hurt the weight or the status into their brand. But that doesn't make sense either because Family Guy is produced by the same company. And they went well into trans episodes, and plenty of other Disney and Fox shows have included trans narratives of all stripes. So it isn't a production company that can be seen as the sole blame. Is it the creators, the developers, Matt Groening, James L. Brooks, Sam Simon? Well, Matt Groening does have another bad trans episode in a show that was helmed by him.
Let's talk Tala. We are finally here to talk about the very famous Tala Scrunch leggings. Of all the leggings to try from Tala, it was the Sculpt Seamless you guys wanted to see. I got so many requests to review this legging. This was at the top of my list. It took a little while for me to finally receive them. It got held up in customs. I thought for sure, like the post office just gave up on me. Luckily, they landed at my doorstep. Surprise, surprise. So with that, apologies for the delay. If it was up to me, this video would have been done like 3 weeks ago. Not gonna lie, when I first saw these on the website, my brain went straight to Amplifies. Between the scrunch bum, the marl design, the branding on the back of the band, everything just screamed Amplify. Granted, there's a ton of similarities, but these are their own legging. But before we hop into it, you already know the drill. If you are not already, please do consider subscribing. We test out activewear every single week on this channel. So hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you don't miss a beat. This video is brought to you in part by Cozy Earth. Cozy Earth is a premium bedding and loungewear company. They are the world's foremost source of high-quality, authentic bamboo linens, sleepwear, and loungewear. All of their products are made from super soft viscose from highly sustainable bamboo. Their sheet set, PJ set, ultra soft joggers, and plush lounge socks were chosen 5 years in a row as one of Oprah's favorite things. I have the bamboo sheet set in the color oak, the bamboo rib knit jogger and long sleeve in the color black. Everything came in reusable and super aesthetic packaging. The softness in these are unreal, so airy and light, and very luxurious. Use my code AshleyG30 to get 30% off your Cozy Earth purchase. I'll have them linked in the description box. Over here is where you can find my measurements. I'll also have them down in the description box as well for you to reference. I'll also have this legging linked down below in case you're interested in taking a closer look, as well as Tala's main site. This legging you're about to see is in my true size small. So ironically enough, when I was on Tala's website shopping for these leggings, they were having a sale. I was this close to grabbing one of these Sculpt Seamless leggings for 50% off. I had these ice blue leggings in my cart just chilling. Alright, literally ice blue, they were chilling. But then I got to perusing some more on the website, took my damn sweet time, and then they sold out. Alright, that's literally the story of my life. So then I went back to look at other Sculpt Seamless leggings that weren't sold out. Nothing else was on sale. Those were the last of the last, and I almost got my hands on them, but I didn't. So when I went back to grab a different one, the only one left in my size was in this color, Oxblood. Usually color names are a little more pleasant to the ear, like, I don't know, I would have went with something like Blooming Rose, Sun-Kissed Red, Oxblood? Ew, I almost didn't buy them for the name of the color. That's disgusting. That's nasty. I got period blood leggings that took a literal month to get in. But they redeemed themselves. When I put them on, I was pleasantly pleasant. Now throughout this review, don't be surprised if you hear me refer back to Amplify or the Honor Active Effortless leggings. Those are my top 2 scrunch bum leggings in the game, hands down, so I'm gonna be doing a lot of referencing those. When I first pulled them out of the bag, I felt Amplify. I said these are very soft, but they're not as thin as Amplify. You know how some Amplifys coming out and you put them on, they're just like straight pantyhose feel? This is a little bit thicker. I believe the thickness is more comparable to the Effortless leggings, even though the overall material feels like Alpha Lee. Whereas Amplify has the 3-tiered tapered waistband, this just has a single rib squared off band. This means there's a lot less compression in the band than say the Amplify. This was such a noticeable difference to me when I first put them on. I didn't feel that insane grab around the hips that I do with the Amplify, so right off the bat I knew, okay, a lot less tummy control. The logo's very similar to Alpha Lee. There's no denying that. It's sewn in, it's white, all capital. Where it's a little bit different is they actually add the same logo on the bottom right back of the ankle. It still has that sewn in logo, it's not printed, so they kept the quality very consistent. This scrunch is very comparable to both Amplify and Honor Active Effortless. They both have that very natural scrunch, the one that moves with your body. It stretches with you. It is minimal to a certain degree. In fact, when I first pulled these out of the bag, there was a little sticker right on the butt cheek. It said something along the lines of be very careful when putting these on. The scrunch is super delicate, just like with any scrunch bum that looks just like this. Don't pull from the scrunch. I have to give them major props for adding a disclaimer right there. When you pull it out of the package, you can't miss it. Right below the band, you can see there's a very small ribbed contour paneling. This is what feeds the scrunch into the legging, adds a little bit of shape around the glutes. As you can see here, the band curves down just a little bit in the back. Nothing crazy, but enough to be noticeable, even just standing. Now, this doesn't impact the effectiveness of the scrunch. It doesn't make the legging uncomfortable to wear, but it is something I noticed. When I was squatting in these leggings, I did notice that the band had a little baby gape. Now, I don't get that in the Amplify. The Amplify is like saran wrap around my waist. So I did have a little bit of a gape. I didn't have any noticeable slipping, but it was something that I was very aware of. When I was squatting, I was like, is there a little gape? Yeah, there is. These leggings are insane in the fact that they have ribbed contour paneling in all the right places. Places I never knew I actually could use them. They added the contour rib paneling not only underneath the glutes, but alongside the hips and into the front. Now, at first when I held these up and I saw them in the front, I said, oh, these are the back of the leggings. Then I turn them around and I see them again. I was like, what's going on here? They have this rib contour literally going all the way around your legs. It feels, when wearing them, like you have somebody's hands, ever so slightly, just grabbing you a little bit. Just a little grab. When I actually turned around and looked at myself in the mirror, it literally helped pucker my bum. I kid you not. When I was at the gym, I couldn't stop looking. I was like, what the? It looked like I got a butt lift. These did the butt lift thing. Now, Amplify doesn't have any sort of contouring doing this. The closest thing would be the Honor Active Effortless. They do have a bit of the underbooty contour, but not nearly to the extent that these do. At first I was like, what is the point of having it in the front? Then when I wore it, I understood. What it does is it actually cinches in right around the groin area, and for me, I feel like it helped my quads pop. I felt like my quads were just more pronounced because you had the cinch around the groin. So not only did it lift the glutes, but it popped the hips and popped the quads. That's a lot of popping going on. That effect alone made me go, okay, now I see why they might be $70. This is probably obvious to you, but I'm gonna go ahead and say the stretch in this is the real deal. If we're talking stretch around the legs, not the waistband, but around the thighs, glutes, and calves, the stretch is more comparable to the Honor Active Effortless. This legging in this color was very squat proof. And not to mention the overall length was perfect on me. Actually, it came a little above the ankle. Sometimes Amplify is very long. This was a super nice length. Now, I don't know about my tall gals. You might be a little bummed hearing that. These are actually super breathable. I don't have any footage, but I did do 20 minutes on the bike at the end of my workout. They held up great. They didn't trap any heat. I really hate when I have thick leggings on and I attempt to do cardio. I don't. I'll just leave the gym at that point. The only cardio I'm doing is going to my car for some Dio for my BO. I don't think I would necessarily want to run in these. I don't think there's enough compression. I think over time, this might slip ever so slightly because of the soft material and the lack of compression in the waistband. So if you're a real runner, I don't think these would be quite for you. But doing the bike, they held up just fine. I got no camel toe at all. You already know I did the sweat test in these. very good at concealing sweat. I mean, I pretty much thought so because you got the marl design, it's a very dark shade, but more importantly I was seeing if it dried quickly, and that it did. So very gym friendly legging overall. I believe my true size small was perfect. I wouldn't size up or down, but if I'm in between, only if I'm in between, then I would suggest maybe sizing down. If you prefer a little more compression, if you're somebody who's like, look, the less compression the better, then and only then would I say if you're in between, you could get away with sizing up rather than down. Very concealing in terms of cellulite, more comparable to the Honor Active Effortless than the Amplify. The entire legging I would give a moderate compression. For what I do, my own personal preferences when it comes to the gym, this legging would be it. I like the ribbed waistband, I love that it's seamless, it's high-waisted, you got a scrunch bum emphasizing the curves, perfect length, I mean the stretch, the comfort, it's all there. Everything I need is satisfied in this type of legging. I wouldn't necessarily want to try it out if I'm doing CrossFit, or say anything that requires a lot of grit and grime, only because this material is soft. So for example, you're deadlifting with an Olympic barbell. You lift up that barbell and the grit from the handles scrapes up against your legging. I would not touch that. You're like me. We take some dumbbells, we squat it out, we hit up the leg press, stick to a lot of machines, cables, things like that. I feel like this is good for a casual gym goer, a casual lifter. This is what the inside of the band looks like. This says 51% recycled polyamide, 38% recycled polyester, 11% elastane, made in Turkey. We are Tala Ltd, and then you got their address in here, in case you want to send them a letter. I don't mind when it's printed in like this. It's definitely sewn in just like the logo on the back. I think maybe you could shrink it down a bit. Just scale it down a little bit, just so it's not so, I don't know, obnoxious. Kind of scared me, caught me off guard when I looked at it. It just looked like somebody wrote a thesis back here. Alright guys, so that was the very first Tala review here on our channel. What do you guys think? Overall, yeah, major similarities between the two leggings, Amplify and Honor Active Effortless. I think that Tala added just enough uniqueness to this specific legging to not be categorized as an official ripoff of one or the other. Overall, really nice job. I'm interested in exploring more from Tala, so if you have any other suggestions on what I should try next, please let me know. Can I just say how glad I am that you guys requested this specific legging? I had a really great first impression of this brand, other than it taking forever to get to me. This legging is dope. You did not steer me wrong. I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found this review helpful. If you did, definitely hit that subscribe button. And if I didn't touch base on something in particular that you'd like to know more about, feel free to comment down below. Ask away. I'm sure other people have the same exact question. Thank you all so much for being here. I love you guys, and I'll catch you in my next video.
I guess it's time to talk about this cockroach herder again. He said some more dumb stuff. It's early in the video to use herder. You know what I'm using it for. I've not run into him before. I don't know why people still listen to him. It's a very similar situation to Ellie now. He doesn't offer any sort of unique perspective other than saying dumb stuff most of the time. He's got a video here where he's talking about parents of trans children being mentally ill. We're going to watch this with your perspective. But I want to say, if someone has a large platform, anyone, doesn't matter if it's Asmongold or anybody else, if you have a large platform and you're going to make such a sweeping accusation against people, you should at the very least be responsible enough to talk to explain how you got that information, what studies have been done, something. This locker room bro talk on camera when you have millions and millions of people watching you is not good for anyone. It's not good for me, it's not good for you, it's not good for society. He's just another dude. And the fact is, his information is wrong. But no one's going to check it. And I'm sure people in the comments when they get this video are going to do the same thing. Well, he's had X amount of subs, so he must be like, no, that's not how it works. That's not how the world works. The amount of people that like you do not determine whether or not.
What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be discussing Buff Bunny's brand new courtside collection that's going to be launching this Saturday, February 25th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what are we looking at with courtside? What is this about? You know Buff Bunny, they always go with a specific theme. You already know the drill. First, we're gonna go through the brief that Buff Bunny gave to me. Then we'll go ahead and take a look at the pieces that I have here today to share with you. If you find this video helpful and would like to support the channel, feel free to use my code Gaita at checkout. This also saves you 10% off of your entire order. Helps out the channel big time. So if you do, please let me know so I can personally show you some love. The inspiration behind this collection. This collection will feature many customer favorite colors and pieces. We decided to play with a unique take on a tennis and basketball inspired collection, incorporating both flirty feminine and edgier street style inspired elements. We wanted this collection to be inclusive of all athletes, no matter what court you play on. Me personally, I don't play on any courts. Colorways and patterns. We got white, stardust, blush, cream, onyx black, gray quartz, black quartz, and embossed bossy print. That's it. Alright? No crazy patterns, no crazy colors, no brights, not just yet. But spring's around the corner, Buff Bunny, so what are you doing? But I really feel like a lot of you gravitate towards the darker, more monotone colors, which is all good. The Rebel legging, just the one print. The Legacy legging, just the onyx black. Material Girl ribbed legging, same thing. Legacy short, same thing. Told you this was simple. The Pump short, launching in onyx black and blush. The Rosa V2 sports bra, just the bossy print. Court pleated skirt, onyx black and stardust. Okay, adding in some cream colors here. Sphinx rib sports bra, the one I'm wearing right here right now, onyx black. Reversible sports bra, ooh, looking like an Oreo cookie. Scarab jacquard top, onyx black and white. Harmony halter sports bra, you remember this one from Secrets in the Sand, just like the Sphinx. They're coming back, just in the one color though. Crystal crop V2, black and white. Dazed dress. Okay, this is my favorite active dress from Buff Bunny. Transcend tee. Revolution dress, all right? So this one's more form fit, bodycon. Courtside zip dress. This is brand spanking new. Player tee. Tennis club tee. Courtside tee. I actually like that they added a little more, you know, earth tones in here. We got the cream color. Game changer belt bag. Okay. Oh, and the Game Changer backpack. This is the FAQ page, so take your time if you need to pause the video, look it over. This just goes over the changes that you can expect with the pieces. This also lets you know if certain items are similar to other ones that you may have tried, so it's definitely worth browsing over. I'll also insert the compression and support scale. This goes with leggings, sports bras, shorts, and skirts. Now let's talk some of my favorites. We're gonna start with what I'm already wearing, because why not? The Sphinx Rib Sports Bra with the matching ribbed Material Girl legging. Both of these are in my true size small. This bra came out in the Secrets in the Sand collection. I actually grabbed it in that olive green, you remember that? I always thought the Sphinx Sports Bra was very flattering. I like this cut because it doesn't dig into my armpits. I also love the keyhole design because it makes the girls really pop. This is literally cleavage central. If you're looking to show off the girls, and you know me, girl, I got none, but nevertheless they come out to play in this. It's got such a nice lay because of the thick straps. There's nothing digging in over time. Even around the band area, nothing is digging. My true size small is perfection. If you're in between, that's when I would suggest sizing up, only because there's not a ton of stretch here. You actually do have a seam that wraps around, and I feel like that could possibly get tight, especially if we're similar in measurements. Definitely go based off of that, because I know right here, right now, the size small is working. You do have the removable bra pads. I would give this a moderate support, even with this massive hole, this chunk taken out of the bra. I still feel like everything's held nicely in place. Now for me, I feel like this is more of a show bra, something I'm not necessarily gonna take to the gym, but if you wanna spice things up, go for it. I think you'd be just fine. I've been dying to get my hands on a pair of just black Material Girl leggings. I fell in love with these leggings during the Secrets in the Sand when I grabbed that olive green. Now I wanted a staple black that I can wear with anything because they're that comfortable. Just like the sports bra, it's an all over heavy rib. It only has about a moderate compression, but the overall lay seems so seamless. Even though it's not seamless at all, I really like the fact that there's no crazy bunching. You don't have any awkward lays. It's a nice length. The band doesn't dig in. I just think it's your staple athleisure legging. This does have a decent amount of stretch, so only if you're in between, I would suggest you could get away with sizing down if you're in between. Over on the back, you still have their traditional V seam. The seam in the front is not straight, flat, and boring. It has a nice subtle V to it. Let's talk about the court pleated skirt. This is in the color Stardust, so a really pretty light cream color. This is so short on me. Very short. I didn't anticipate it being that short. So we have a really thick elastic band. This does sit high-waisted on me. The band doesn't dig into your hips. I like the overall lay of this. It's not uncomfortable and it doesn't grab too tight. You have your built-in shorts with 2 side pockets. Very soft material, very stretchy material underneath. It is subject to rolling. If you're getting really down with your ankles, it might roll a bit. Overall, love a pleated skirt. I think it just looks so airy and carefree. I would stick with my true size small. If you're in between, maybe size up because the shorts are pretty tight. They do cinch in a bit. I'm very sensitive in that area, and yeah, they do cinch in. I grabbed the reversible sports bra. They launched this bra in that 70s collection. They called it the high roller sports bra. They did change it. They tweaked it by cutting off some length right here. I'm glad they did that. I actually wore the high roller sports bra to the gym a few weeks ago, and I noticed there was so much extra bunching material underneath. So in order for it to be a little more supportive and flattering, they took a little bit of that length off, and it really has such a better lay overall. Now keep in mind, this bra, there's no padding in it. None. Not even an option to insert. So this is more of a lounge bralette, or if you want to go out, it is technically thick enough. Like for me, I feel, like I said, comfortable enough to work out in the gym with it. It is not adjustable though, so keep that in mind. It is a very simple sports bra. I do like this side better because I think the reason I gravitate towards the sports bra is I like that look of the trim. Flip it the other way and now you have an all black sports bra. This is more of their Nubray fabric, buttery soft to the touch. If you're a heavy sweater, this will get soggy. Tiniest, teeniest, tiniest little baby elastic band on the bottom here. It won't hold you if you got a lot going on right here, but for my small busted babes like myself, this does the trick. Low support, my true size small is perfect. If you're in between, definitely suggest sizing down. This is a good amount of stretch. Next up, let's chat about the pump shorts. I grabbed them in the color blush and the scarab jacquard top. Now, both of these are in my true size small. Let's start with the top. This crop top has a built-in shelf bra. So basically it has an elastic band, removable bra pads, mesh lining. It's kind of a floating bra underneath there. It's very breathable. I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is. Bae says it looks like fortune cookies or a horse's hoof.
Cow hoof.
Oh, my bad. A cow hoof. I think it's really pretty and subtle. There's no contrast. It's all one color other than obviously the emblem on the back, which is a rose gold. The neckline is very squared off. So this is a very squared off crop top. Has a little bit of length, not too much, still a crop, and it's very stretchy. This material is very soft to the touch. You can feel that textured jacquard, and you have adjustable straps. Actually, this is my favorite part of this entire crop top, the straps. 2 straps on each side. These are very thin, strappy, almost satin straps. Very angelic. I don't know. This is what I'm getting from this crop top. It's got a very angelic type of style. These straps are adjustable too. I had to adjust it when I first got it in. Overall, very low support. I would not suggest doing anything high intense in this. I think you could really get use out of this in yoga. V-pump short might be one of my most prized pieces in this entire collection. You know, if you watch this channel, how I feel about shorts. I am so weird when it comes to tight fit shorts, like over the top picky, but I am a huge lover of loose fit shorts. Yes, I am. This blush, it's so pretty. It's just a really pale pink. These shorts would be perfect, honestly, for the gym because they're so breathable. The entire top layer is stretchy mesh. There's no lining underneath. That's the only downfall. I don't mind it so much if I'm just using this casually. If I'm up on a leg press, then I might worry. You have the over-the-top stretchy draw cords, and this is double layered, so you can feel that thickness. It's not a thin layer of mesh and that's it. Thick elastic band, doesn't dig in. Overall, very comfortable short. If you're in between, you prefer a more form fit, you could size down. But my true size small is great. I wouldn't change a thing about these shorts, and on top of that, you have 2 pockets. They don't zip, but you got 2 pockets. I had to grab the Days dress. This came out with that 70s collection. I had a floral dress. To me, this is a great active dress for a few reasons. Well, first of all, I'm really happy to say that they fixed the chest area. For me, it doesn't droop as much. They shortened it by 1 inch, so now the built-in bra holds you in a bit better. Overall, a really silky material. This is a nylon spandex blend, so very wicking. If you want to work out in this dress, do it. Or throw on a pair of heels and go to the club. I actually plan to use this during the summertime. Nothing better than a stretchy, wicking active dress in the summertime. You don't have to worry about anything, and you can just up and go and sweat your bum off in it, especially with the built-in shorts. So you do have pockets in these. You have 2 pockets. One is the reverse pocket where you could put a tennis ball in. Obviously, I'm not playing tennis, but it's good to have that option, I guess. You have the removable bra pads. Basically everything I could ask for in an active dress. This covers it all. The backing's really pretty. It's not adjustable, but I don't really feel like I need that. Very true to size. If you're in between, I would say size up if you don't want the shorts to be digging in and getting too tight down there. It has a beautiful drape. It's not clingy. It doesn't hug your legs tight. It just is. It just exists, and I appreciate it. I grabbed the courtside dress in white. And guess what? I got my tan all over it. Yay! This dress was very hard to get on for me. In my true size small, already off the bat, I would probably suggest sizing up if you're in between. Now, I would stick to my true size because eventually when I got it up, it fit okay. There was a little bit of wrinkling around in certain areas. If you're in between, only if you're in between, then size up. This is a very tricky dress for a few reasons. This cutout runs the risk of giving me a muffin top. If I really move it around and adjust it, it's okay. You don't have any adjustments. You do have removable bra pads, a full zip in the front. You even have a little clasp at the top. This way you can open up the zipper, give it a little sex appeal. This dress doesn't have the wicking factors that I feel with the Dazed dress, where that dress is more silky, wicking. This feels like it's gonna absorb a little bit. Overall, I think it's a very sexy dress. A little too uncomfortable for me to wear. I think it feels more like I'm wearing saran wrap, especially because right around here on the backside, this material is gonna wanna ride up and you can get a little bit of excess bunching right above your glutes. But again, this is the first time they're launching this dress, and just like any of their other previous pieces, things that might need work take time, and maybe they will make some improvements here. I mean, they've done it with pretty much everything we've already seen, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do. Let's talk tees. We have the Transcend tees in gray and black quartz. In all honesty, this gray, there's a little bit of a purple to it. More of a purple blush color, not gray. I'm not seeing any gray. This is more of what looks like a cloud pattern. A little more marbly pattern happening over here. So even though these are both the Transcend tee, they both have different designs. Light, fluffy, airy cloud, dark, rough granite. These are both in my true size small. They are oversized. If you prefer a more form fit, less oversized fit, absolutely size down 100%. Me, true size small, I'll stick with it because I am using these as a pump cover, just casual, I don't care. It does have that performance material, so it's very wicking and breathable. Very lightweight, airy, cool to the touch. This is their Nimbus fabric. So I personally prefer this type of t-shirt over cotton t-shirts when I'm trying to stay calm, cool, and collected. Let's take a look at the courtside tees. These are 100% cotton, so they can shrink a little bit. I actually snagged these in a large on purpose. I wanted to use them, again, as pump covers, lounge shirts, and things like that. We have the cream t-shirt and the white. The white has a very blush tone text. The cream has an earthy green. These are the backs, just so you have an idea. I'm showing you the back side. The front is more minimal, where you just have a little courtside Buff Bunny collection. I truly am glad that I sized up in these. They give that oversized fit. It's perfection. And lastly, I have the player tee. So this says courtside really big. In the background, it's a picture of a distressed basketball hoop. Down here it says Buff Bunny collection, meet me at the court. Again, this is made out of 100% cotton, and I did size up to a large. Which do you prefer? The courtside or the player? Honestly, I think I prefer the courtside. I think this groovy text is a straight vibe. Alright guys, so that concludes today's video. As you can see, this was a very small and simple drop. Do we like the simplicity and the more simple tones? Or are you like, come on, where's the brights? Where's those patterns we love? I think there's some select pieces that are really worth looking into. Those shorts, the mesh shorts, They're my favorite thing. Sticking on the sidelines with this one, or are you gonna play some ball? Let me know, comment down below. Thank you all so much for being here. I love you, and I'll catch you in my next video. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are here with yet another installment of affordable Amazon activewear. We're putting a little twist on it. We're going to be talking about some affordable bodysuits. A lot of the brands we feature regularly on this channel can be quite pricey. So when we can, it's nice to just balance the scales a little bit. Showcase more affordable options. Plus Amazon, I mean, they're super accessible. There's like 1,000,001 different brands on Amazon, which is why we do these reviews. We've been doing affordable Amazon hauls on this channel for what, like 4 years now? We've done exclusive Amazon leggings, scrunch leggings, shorts, you name it. This is our first time bringing to you an exclusive Amazon bodysuits video, and I'm very excited. The bodysuits we're going to be featuring today are from the brand Pumi. They're pretty big on Amazon, actually. I've seen them a lot, so you might have already heard of them, but they literally specialize in bodysuits. They get a lot of comparisons to Skims. If you check out their Instagram, a lot of their reels always relate them to Skims. And it's no question, Skims tends to be pricey, but Pumi's bodysuits that we're gonna be featuring today are around $30 each. Thank you so much to Pumi for sponsoring today's video and sending these pieces out for my review. If you haven't already, definitely hit that subscribe button. We do a ton of videos just like this every single week here on this channel. We love activewear, we love athleisure, we love trendy pieces here. So do not miss out, hit that subscribe button, you won't regret it. Over here you can find my measurements. I'll also have them in the description box below. Every single piece you see will also be linked down below for you. And keep in mind, everything today is in my true size small. First, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at what all of these bodysuits have in common. Then we'll break it up by different styles and colors. When it first came in, it really looked beautiful in the packaging. They had a slip that kept it really in place. It looked like an outline of a woman wearing the bodysuit. You could see the pop of color showing through. I thought that was really clever packaging. But when you pull it out naturally, because it's it's creasing everywhere. It looks wrinkly. So I was like, crap, am I gonna have to steam these? Because I don't have time for that. But instead I threw it on and it does stretch and really mold to your body nicely. When I put it on, everything was really nice and smoothing. These all have a very glovey-dovey body fit. No wrinkling, no bunching. It's so soft to the touch. It's like second skin, almost brushed fabric. Now this material's double lined. It's not just one layer. I like that it has a second layer underneath. It doesn't add bulky thickness. It adds just enough to not have any sheerness beneath. All of these bodysuits are super lightweight and very breathable. It's like wearing a feather. So from my own personal research, these pieces are all made from the same materials. It's the same material, maybe slightly different percentages, but have no fear, they all do feel the same. If you're wondering about this feel, yes, it's definitely 100% comparable to Skims. The fact that they use polyamide right off the bat, I was like, this is gonna be good, because polyamide for me, if you remember, when I talk about it in my Gymshark videos, they used to really go ham on using polyamide, and it was my favorite because it was so soft and stretchy. It gave it a more luxurious, comfortable feel, in my opinion. So needless to say, these are all super duper stretchy. All of these bodysuits have the same bottoms. They're the same exact cut. When wearing them, they do act as a thong. They have the bottom snap closure like traditional bodysuits do, so it's probably not a surprise to you. These are actually surprisingly small from other bodysuits I've tried. They're not huge clunky metal pieces down there. Maybe I've just been trying really weird bodysuits. These really stay shut. Like, you actually have to tug to get them apart. I guess that could be a good thing, so they're not snapping on your crotch when you're walking around. Or it can be slightly annoying if you have to really pee and you're having trouble just snapping them apart. You could do what I do, the little trick, you just move the material to the side. Is that gross? Now, I don't know whose arms they're referencing when making these long sleeves, but they're so astronomically long on me. They're just so long, and I don't even got a thumb hole, so what am I supposed to do with this? Do you remember at the end of Space Jam when Michael Jordan went for the dunk? That's how long these sleeves are. I have T-Rex arms. My biggest concern with bodysuits, I think #1 concern, would be right here. I don't want this to be too tight on me. If I were to throw joggers and I'm trying to keep it really comfy cool, I'm not in the mood to feel like there's a floss in between my legs. I've worn bodysuits before where it hurt. After a while, I was like, oh my God, I had to unclasp and just walk around with it unclasped, and then it defeats the purpose of wearing an actual bodysuit. These were surprisingly comfortable because I do feel like I have somewhat of a shorter torso, so maybe that's in my favor. I don't know, if you have a super long torso, this might fit you differently down here, but for me, my true size smalls were perfect. Because these bodysuits are very consistent, sticking with your true size is the way to go. If you're in between, I would say if you prefer a more form fit, you could get away with sizing down. You don't mind if there's a little bit of extra room to play with, then you could get away with sizing up. I do feel like this material is very forgiving though, because it's so body fit. I think you could get away with either one, just depends on your preference. Let's check out the colors and styles I have here. So for the long sleeve crew necks, I have the colors Mocha, nice dark nude, khaki, so if you go for a lighter nude, and elephant gray. So all neutrals. As you can see here, the elephant gray has a wider neckline and it's also very seamless. So you don't actually have a sewn on collar like you do with these two. That is because the elephant gray is from their Smoke Cloud collection. And these two brown shades are from the Sharp collection. For the mock necks, I have this beautiful color Ruby. This one's probably my favorite because it's so bright and happy. And then I went with the classic jet black as well. I feel like when it comes to mock necks, the way to style this particular fit would be with more jeans or pants or skirts. This is not something I would necessarily wear with sweatpants. That I would leave to the tanks and the crews, something more casual. Mock neck has a little more of a formal look. So if you're a teacher, my teachers, listen up, this would look so great under a pair of slacks. From their Smoke Cloud collection, I also have two of their high neck sleeveless bodysuits. This is in the color Marsala. So this looks like a bit of a darker shade of terracotta, a little bit of a muted red. Then we have dark Knight. I don't know if they played off of Dark Knight Batman. This color's pretty rich though. You got not only a navy blue, but a tinge of purple happening here. So as you can see, it's a high neck, so there's a lot of coverage, goes right up to the neckline. There's a few things I like and dislike about this bodysuit. First things first, I really love the neckline. And I really do love the actual cuts. If you look at the actual cut of the sleeves, it's angled in such a way where you're not getting pinched in. But with that being said, the downfall is that if you were to wear a traditional seamless bra underneath, you're gonna see the straps. So this is the type of bodysuit, this particular cut, where you either need to find a seamless bra that has adjustable straps, you can cross them over so they're not visible, or you could wear nip pads or nothing at all. Now, with these bodysuits, I get it. They want to go with a body fit, that skimming effect, but me sometimes, especially when I wear it out, I'm gonna need a little support. I would like some options where there's actual built-in bras, or at least a little bit of padding. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, sure, I got nip pads somewhere. So yeah, keep that in mind. It's overall super flattering, but if support is your main thing, these bodysuits won't give you that. There's nothing holding you in. You gotta wear something underneath. Story time about this Marsala color here. I actually went to go wear this on Valentine's Day. Bay and I were going out for the day. I was getting ready. Okay, so I put this on and I was doing my hair, and I use hair oil, and I must have somehow, of course, story of my life, dripped some oil on this. I was almost out the door and I saw the oil stain. So I went ahead, had to take this off. I was really pissed. Long story short, the next day I washed it. Now I wash this like activewear because there is elastane in it. It's similar to activewear in its own right. I'm happy to note that the oil stain came out, and I thought this was actually an ideal situation to test out how it holds up when washing it. It held up nicely, still feels and fits the same. So there you have it. That was our Pumi bodysuits review. Check them out on Amazon. I'll have them linked down below. I hope you guys found this video super helpful. Like I said, overall, I think for the price point, you really can't go wrong. As long as you're just looking for something to wear comfortably, lightweight, breathable, body skimming, smoothing, all that, your basic bodysuit that you plan to wear athleisurely, then yeah. Like I said, if you need a ton of support, you're gonna have to go ahead and grab a bra. If you have any questions about what you saw in today's video, comment down below and let me know what other Amazon brands you'd like me to try next. Always open to trying new brands. That goes for anything. It doesn't have to be just Amazon. Comment down below. I have a whole list in my notes of brands that you guys are requesting, and I'm checking them off one at a time. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and I'll catch you in my next video.
I'm sorry. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Y'all two hang out way too much. It's like, obviously y'all a couple. Y'all two a couple. I'm serious. You two a couple. You and Sarah and Taylor are a couple, yo. I'm just saying, y'all might as well put a ring on it, y'all. Why don't you put a ring on it, y'all? You can blame the president, okay? You can blame the president, sweetheart. Yeah, you and Christy. Yeah, you and Christy. Y'all friends. Y'all friends. Y'all friends. It's like you kind of remind me of friends with benefits, my girl. I'm just saying, Taylor. I'm just saying. You two are. Y'all's a bunch of bitches. Y'all's a bunch of bitches. No, I'm serious. Y'all's a bunch of bitches. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, y'all's a bunch of bitches. If this was any other president, y'all be questioning shit and saying.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are here with yet another affordable Amazon scrunch legging haul. We're taking a look at 3 unique sets. We have shorts and leggings, all scrunch bums. They are from the brand Yorio. Every piece in today's video is $30 or under, but we're also here to test them out, see how they hold up at the gym, and whether or not they are actually worth the money. All of my true size small measurements will be right over here for you, as well as in the description box. You can also find each item in today's video linked down below as well. Thank you so much to Yorio for sponsoring today's video and sending these pieces out for my review. I noticed that they do a lot of trendy activewear. Styles and designs we've all seen. They actually make it known, I believe on their Instagram I saw, that they specialize in keeping up with the trends. So if something's super popular, you can probably eventually see it on there, but for a much more affordable price. Now, I'm sure we've all seen this style on social media. I don't know what it is about this tie-dye, but I can't not see it. This is their high-rise booty scrunch seamless professional tie-dye leggings in blue. They're $29.99. They have a ton of colors. We are looking at a high-rise massive scrunch bum. There's a ton of booty grabbing going on here. You have the under glute contour mesh, so it's breathable. Very boxy waistband, ribbed. This is a seamless legging, but you do have a pretty heavy V seam at the lower waistband. The scrunch is absolutely massive on here. It goes from the bottom of the band to the gusset. It has that exaggerative butt scrunch. You know, almost like a cat hole, but I do feel like the tie-dye really helps distract that. Down the side, you have a really heavy ribbed contour paneling. Overall, the feel, it's pretty textured. It's very thick, very dense, somewhat stretchy in this direction, but not this direction so much. So it's not a total 4-way stretch. When wearing this to the gym, my first gut reaction was, okay, when I'm squatting, I feel it. The lack of stretch, especially when in a low squat, is where I can feel this scrunch. I did notice when squatting, because of the stiff scrunch, I did feel like it was pulling on the lower band. So with that being said, I started to feel like it was dipping a little bit. I also didn't feel any real compression in the waistband. I think that has to do with why I felt a little bit of slipping. The overall leg compression is double the compression of the band. So even though there's really no compression in the band, it's all in the legging. I do think this material is very thick. Not totally breathable. I do think, given its density and the quality of the material, this would be a really good gym legging. Great for lifting, powerlifting. It's got that rugged quality to it. This is not the type of legging you have to worry about seeing through. There was no sheerness, none on the back, none around the quads, but I would really love to see this legging with a little bit more stretch in it. The length was pretty good though, and I can't get over this design. I do really love that tie-dye look, especially in this blue. This was super sweat proof too, so if you're a heavy sweater, I think you'll be just fine in this. It didn't show sweat and it wicked it very well. My true size small, I would stick with it, but if you're in between sizes, then I would suggest sizing up. I think if you were to size down, it'd get a little hairy right around the quad area. I do think it gets a little too stiff and then you're just really gonna struggle with the stretch. So overall thoughts on this legging. I think if you're somebody where glute aesthetic is very important, you don't mind having a lower compression waistband, maybe you prefer that, and you need a little more support in the leg area, then yeah, I think this gym legging would be great for you. I paired these leggings with the V-neck strappy crisscross sports Bella bra. This rolls in at $24.99. I did notice that for what I do at the gym, doing a lot of bending, is when I started to notice the crazy side boob in this bra. a lot. Now, it never ever slipped on out. There was no nip slip syndrome here. But I did feel like, okay, wow, I gotta just rearrange for a second, hold up. This particular cut is sexy. There's no denying that. But I don't think it's totally functional for the gym. I think this is more of a show bra, especially if you're bigger chested than me. I mean, there's really no support in this sports bra. You do have removable bra pads and a nice mesh lining. So it is very lightweight. You have a very thick band down here. So there's like a minimal support, but where it lacks is right around here. So no support here, decent support underneath. So if you lift your arms up, you're not gonna fall out under the bra. But if you move any other way, it might shift out this way, especially if you have a ton of side boob like me. I don't know where I get that from, but all my boob is right here. There's no adjustments. My favorite part is the back. I've always been a fan of really dainty, crisscross ballerina style straps. I think it gives such an elegant, classy, feminine look. It just, it's so yoga. Even the front here, it's double strapped, but stitched together in little segments. It just adds a really pretty look. I do believe this is very true to size. Ultimately, if I was in between, I would probably end up going down rather than up. Next up, we have the high-rise pattern seamless camo leggings in the color blue. These are $29.99. As you can see, it's very reminiscent of a Gymshark legging they had years ago. They're camo, the traditional camo legging, like circa 2019 right here, even down to the scrunch. Now, obviously, Gymshark doesn't have anything quite like this. So if you missed out on their old camo style, especially if you like this color in the camo design, check them out. They also have other colors as well, but they fit entirely different, straight up. If you're thinking this is a complete and utter replica, you're wrong. So we have the squared off waistband, definitely more compressive of a legging than the tie-dye you just saw, like way more compressive. If you're in between, you gotta size up with this one. The scrunch bum, just like we're used to, it doesn't do a whole lot, but it is a little something. This is definitely more of a subtle route with the scrunch bum than the previous tie-dye. These leggings were 100% squat proof on me. I haven't seen anything in Yorio that's sheer. It doesn't have that crazy softness to it. So if you're trying to relate it to Gymshark and you're like wondering like, well, how similar is it? It doesn't have that polyamide, that really soft buoyancy to it. This has more of a rugged, a little bit more stiffer of material. Very similar to the tie-dye in terms of stiffness. There's no logo, no branding whatsoever. Not at the ankle, not on the band, nothing, not even on the inside. I paired those camo leggings with the Pro Classical Bandeau Sports Katie bra in white. You know I love a nice bandeau. When I first pulled it out of the package, it looked big. I was like, oh crap, there might be extra material, might look saggy on me. But when I put it on, I was like, oh, thank goodness there's enough room. Nothing was spilling over, nothing was uncomfortable. Actually, there's a decent amount of coverage, especially for it being a bandeau style. Again, so bandeau, you have this straight neckline, removable bra pads. I felt the support right away. I guess it's because I was wearing the other one way too long. Then when I put this one on, I moved around in this and there was no shifting, no side boob, no anything. My chest felt very secure in this. Even though the other bra had much more of an aesthetic backing, it wasn't adjustable. This one is, and the cups are actually sewn separately, so you never have to worry about them overlapping. So if I'm on the hunt for a cute, gym-friendly sports bra, this is the one I would go for. Last but not least, we have the seamless scrunch workout shorts, high-waisted booty lifting gym yoga shorts in black. These are only $22.99. Now I wanted to go with black because I'm gonna be super honest with you. In case they didn't quite work for me, my body type, I wanted the option to wear them underneath dresses and things like that. So that's why I went with the stable black, so it'll go with anything. Let's start with the waistband. We actually have a crossover V waistband. This is a very thick ribbed band, super thick. No front seam like the rest of them. None of these have front seams, thank goodness. Look how short these are though. I don't have to pretend here. It's not that I don't like them, I do like short shorts, but not on me. I feel like my comfortable length, around 6 to 8 inches. This looks like it's about 3 inches, maybe 4, probably around 3 inches. On the back side, you have the same exact scrunch as the first tie-dye legging. You already know what that means. It is a stiff scrunch. You do feel it when you squat, but it doesn't really pull as much because you don't have all the rest of the material. I actually think this is a very comfortable short overall, but just like the rest of the leggings, these are super squat proof. If I could just get this in a little bit of a lengthier short, maybe more biker style, then I'd be all over it. You don't have any under glute contour. There's an ever so slight contour on the sides of the glutes, but not underneath. The thigh cinch is there. It's not terrible. It really isn't terrible. I've had way worse. I actually really love the way my glutes looked in these. They were spot the frig on. Now I did notice when squatting in these, there was a bit of a roll up. I'm not surprised because they're so short that they would eventually just like make their way up. I do know that it's a style for a lot of you. In fact, a lot of you actually go out of your way to make them roll up and you rock it and you pull them off. I think these are overall true to size, but if you're in between, just like the rest of them, size up. So I think if you're looking for a good pair of booty poppin' short shorts, these could definitely be it. There's no doubt they're flattering and you don't see any cat hole scrunch because of the dark color. To pair with those shorts, I grabbed the same exact sports bra, but in black, the first one you saw. I do want to make note that the material we have in the V-cut sports bras and the material we have in the bandeau is very different. This material has more of a brushed fabric, not super good at wicking sweat. The bandeau is, which is why I really suggest it for the gym. This fabric is very wicking, got that slippery to the touch feel. So I think if you sweat a lot, this is the bra you want to go with regardless. Alright guys, that concludes today's video. What are our thoughts? Have you tried this brand? Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you and I will catch you in my next video.
He's videotaping me, I'm videotaping him. Hey, babe. Oh, yeah. How was it?
Yeah, this is why I fucking hate you.
Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Are you ready to talk about the new Gymshark Camo and Elevate? I think you are. I know I am. There's quite a few things that we need to discuss in today's video. These pieces already launched earlier this month. I'm already starting to get some feedback from you guys who already purchased from these collections. So I took some time, played around with these pieces, really tested them out, brought some of this to the gym. I got some things to say. Really quick before we get into this video, I did want to address something. You guys have been DMing me a lot. I know we probably all heard about the athlete codes, the 10% off discount codes that allow you to actually get 10% off your entire order, which I think is really dope, and it's about damn time that they started to do this. I'm getting questions whether or not I'll be receiving a code. And the answer is, I think. I'm pretty sure I am. But when is a completely different story, so definitely stay posted. I really appreciate you guys asking and inquiring. If I receive a code, I will be obviously announcing it on YouTube and Instagram stories. But in the meantime, if you want to save 10%, use your favorite athlete's code. Help support them, gives you 10% off. It's a win-win. If you'd like to support this channel in the meantime, don't be shy. Hit up that subscribe button. You won't regret it because we talk Gymshark here every single month, sometimes a few times a month. We also talk a ton of other brands on this channel, so if you have a favorite, chances are we already reviewed them, and if not, feel free to comment down below. I love taking requests. A huge thank you to Gymshark for sponsoring today's video. Over here you can find all of my measurements. I got everything in a size small today. That is my true size in Gymshark. I will also have all of my measurements down in the description box below, as well as each individual piece linked for your convenience. Let's start with the Elevate collection. We got some new prints going on in here, have you noticed? To me, this is a very geometric style that they came out with. Lots of lines, lots of movement, very thick and thin lines combined. I'm actually a really big fan of this print. I think they did it right with this collection. Now do keep in mind, I reviewed Elevate and Camo in previous videos time and time again. So if you need a full, in-depth, detailed review, check those videos out. I have a whole Gymshark playlist. I'm sure you'll find what you need there. So we still have the traditional long line style bra. The Elevate collection to me is a very soft yogi inspired collection, not something I want to work out in. Now, I would probably give it a chance if it wasn't for the T-seam on the back. We've discussed this in previous Elevate videos. They still kept that T-seam in the shorts and the leggings. You know, that real solid, not so flattering T-seam. Yeah. Comment down below, do you like the T-seam? I mean, what's to like? I'm just kidding. I prefer a nice curved V-seam. That's just me. I guess I can't be too picky. I really think the biker shorts are a hit for me. I think in the summertime I'm gonna be using them a lot because this material is very wicking. It's very lightweight, very glossy feeling. So I feel like this is gonna be ultra comfort to wear in the summertime. Plus these light colors, beautiful. Other than the T-seam, I do think these shorts are pretty flattering. They don't dig in, cinch into the thighs. No digging in the waistband either. Nice moderate compression throughout. Very comfortable for all day wear. I will give them that. In case you guys haven't noticed already, I actually don't prefer wearing shorts at the gym at all. What do you guys think of this print though? I got some DMs when I teased this on Instagram stories. You guys seem to be vibing with this print, so am I. They did very well with the squat proof in this light color. There's no big change from this Elevate launch to the last Elevate launch. They kept it very consistent with the sizing, the fit, the material, everything, so no need to worry there. I would still stick with my true size small, no doubt about it. If you're in between sizes, I would say you could probably get away with sizing down, especially in the bra. I feel like the bra has a little bit of extra room to play with. My 34Bs sit fairly nicely in this. There's a little room to breathe. There's no straps pinching in the back. Still got the removable bra pads, the ruching in the front, some seamed contour, and the long line bra is definitely preferable for me to wear as athleisure. This way, it covers most of my stomach. You got the high-waisted shorts or leggings with it. All you gotta do is throw on a cardigan, some shoes, and you're out the door. Out of all of Gymshark's collections, the Elevate collection would be my go-to athleisure set that's not sweats. And when I do want to feel extra sexy, I just tuck this little flap in. You know how I do. Tuck it up in the bra, get on with my bad self. You know I had to grab a classic biker short, black. This I know I'll be utilizing the most out of anything. When it comes to the summertime, especially sweating, black shorts are a must. Grabbed the short sleeve top to go with it. You have the statement cut out right at the chest. This is actually a very body fit. I'm thankful that these short sleeves do not dig in. If you could just feel this fabric, here, touch it. You gotta feel this. It's ever so slightly the tiniest rib you'll ever see in your life. Insanely stretchy. It is so stretchy that if you were to stretch it out in daylight, you're gonna see right through it. It's that thin and lightweight. But when wearing it, I'm not seeing my sports bra underneath. So it's kind of like magic fabric, where you stretch it out, you can see right through it. Wearing it, you're good. This is a full-length t-shirt, so matching it with the biker shorts, it almost looks like a bodysuit. No one has to know. The only difference between this and a bodysuit is you don't have to sit there in a public stall and go commando and hope people don't peek through the cracks at you. Nothing more embarrassing in the world than making eye contact with a stranger through a stall crack. There's no going back at that point. You're done. You did it. It's over. At that point, you might as well not wash your hands, just get out of there. I also have a solid pair of leggings in the color brushed brown. If you're somebody who just can't get behind a full pattern look, all good. You could do a little mix and match. This solid matches perfectly with the pattern. I actually rocked this set with a Whitney hat. Did I? I can't remember if I was imagining that or not. I mean, maybe it was the willow green I did. Okay, never mind. So I have this solid color along with the willow green color. They are so close to the colors that just launched in the Whitney line. I actually took her cap and was styling with these. The shades are maybe a shade or two different from each other when you really put them next to each other, but wearing it as an outfit ain't no one gonna even recognize. So therefore you can get away with it. No one's gotta know it doesn't technically match. Leggings are great, come to a comfortable length, very squat proof on me. No front seam, plus that slight curvature of the band. Yeah, that seam in the front works. Still have the monotone logo. This one you can actually see pretty well compared to this one that just blends right in with the pattern. Can you even see it? It's like, where's Waldo? There it is. My overall thoughts on the Elevate collection, I think it is perfect for all day wear. If you are a yogi master, you want to do low-key movements, this will be your collection. If you're a gal like me, where glute aesthetic is somewhat of a priority, then maybe not so much. I feel like if they were to take this seam and just arch it, I think this would totally transform the legging, and then I'd be more likely to wear it all the time, maybe even attempt it at the gym. I want to say that nothing has changed with the new Camo versus the last launch that happened in September, I believe. But I would be lying. First and foremost, let's get into the new bras that they launched. We not only have one, but two new tops to choose from in the new Camo collection. Let's start with this one. So we have a racer back sports bra that has a laced up front. It has double fabric, almost reminds me of the Fleck bra. You know, that double layer they have going on? The one underneath is just an all over marl. The top, that's where you have that lava print. This jacquard print is very texturized, so this gritty look you're seeing, you can really feel it. The seam placement's very pretty, all right? You have the darker seams bordering the bra. I think they did that right. Aesthetically, I really like this bra. You got the removable bra pads. I'm feeling a pretty high support in this. That also could be because, you ready for this? It's so damn snug. It's a little too freaking small for me. Now, this is nothing new. When it comes to Gymshark's Adapt Camo lines, they just run really small on me. Small to the point where it's like, it starts hurting my shoulders after a while. I really didn't know what to expect from this new bra, so I ordered in my true size. If I were to do it again, I would absolutely size up to a medium. Now, I don't know for sure how it would fit if I size up to a medium, but I do know one thing is for sure, and that this small is just too small. You can see it in the overlap. I mean, granted, it makes my girls look amazing, but that's because they're literally sandwiched together. They're just being pushed together like two water balloons ready to pop. I think adding in this lace detail was spot on, especially because they started to integrate that in previous launches. Remember the long sleeve with the lace up back? They still launched those this time around. Keep in mind, this lace up doesn't do anything. You can't tighten it, it's not adjustable. This bra, in a nutshell, is what it frickin' is. Let's talk about the asymmetrical crop tank. Now, this bra is a very thick crop tank. There's no padding, there's no built-in bra, none of that, but the material is in fact thick enough where I can wear it to the gym, which I did. I actually folded it up underneath. Some of you didn't recognize the bra. They're like, well, what's that? I'm like, yeah, it's the crop tank, but you know how I do at the gym. I just gotta do it like that. Now, unlike the bra you just saw, the backing of this crop tank is adjustable. This was a little bit loose on me. I felt like there's a lot of extra material. Adjusting it in the back really doesn't help that because there's just a ton of material here. Still a cute look. I would love to see some more asymmetrical designs from Gymshark. I think they're really hitting it big in the activewear realm with this look. So to see them incorporating it slowly, okay, we're taking baby steps, but I would like to see more, because I'll tell you one thing, going Tarzan in the gym ain't nothing making me feel more like a badass. That's the truth. And it's pretty. I just think it's an overall pretty look. So if you have a bigger chest than me and you need support, I would not recommend this unless you wear something underneath. If you're like me, 34B, don't need a ton of support, just a thick enough material so my nipples don't show, then you'd be just fine with this. I think if you're in between, I would definitely suggest sizing down rather than up, which is crazy to say because the rest of their bras are so snug it hurts. That's how the cookie crumbles with this one. Now let's talk leggings and shorts. We're looking at the reverse stone gray / evening blue. Boy, they're coming out with everything in evening blue. Now, we all know that the bras run really snug, right? Why are the leggings and the shorts running extra snug as well? That was my deciding factor of looking into the material and saying, okay, what actually changed? I was used to it with the bra, so I didn't think twice, but when putting on the leggings, and especially the shorts, I was like, something's different. Now I did notice they switched up from polyamide in the last launch to now nylon. But I do notice polyamide versus nylon. Polyamide just gives a higher quality to the legging. So for example, it'll feel a little more powdery soft, a little more stretchy, a bit easier to actually put on. With nylon, I noticed a little more stiffness, not so powdery soft, a little more difficulty when putting on. That is what I experienced with these new camo leggings and shorts. Unfortunately, I noticed a uni butt in these. When I played around with the material, it's a little more difficult than it usually is. Typically, I can play around with the camo material, move it up where, I like it, and get on with it. But for some reason, it was very difficult. You still have the squared off waistband. Everything is the same since the last launch in terms of aesthetic. We all know they got rid of the little patchy scrunch. That's gone. That's been gone. That's old news. They now have this raised seam. I love that evolution for them. I'm glad they made that switch. We all wanted it. I do think, believe it or not, if I were to do it again, I would probably have to size up now to a medium in both the leggings and shorts. Squatting wasn't the most comfortable in this region. I do think it's because of the slight material makeup. You still have the polyester and elastane, but that polyamide to nylon switch, it was noticeable for me. Specifically in the shorts, ironically. This is their misty / hazy pink. I think it's really pretty. It's almost a salmon-y pink, and I think it's perfect for mix and matching with the evening blue, a really nice, lovely summer spring color. But again, I am feeling the backside being a little too restrictive and right around the thighs, cinching in way too much. Now, given this slightly different material, I might just have to start sizing up to a medium completely in these sets. But I don't know how it's gonna hold up for sure with the waistband compression. Maybe a little extra material might cause some wrinkle. Really don't know what to expect if I sized up. And not to mention, I'm actually about a month into a cut right now. So I'm actually losing weight. The fact that they're getting tighter with each launch rather than the opposite makes me go, okay, it's definitely the material and it's not me. So if you're somebody who did size up in this collection, comment down below if you don't mind, share your thoughts. This is a community here, so I encourage you to comment or read the comments. Maybe it'll help someone out. Not to say it isn't still a damn good legging in terms of actual quality. Camo is still #1 when it comes to being squat proof on me. So if you know your true size in this latest launch, then yes, I highly recommend it. For me, I need to play around a little bit. Maybe sizing up will do me some good. Real quick, I want to close the show with the bra that I'm wearing. I mean, out of anything today, I gotta say, this is the most underrated sports bra that Gymshark has right now. This is their new crossover. You have a little patch of mesh in the front, very pretty backing, nice support. It actually says low support, but me being 34B, this is moderate to high on me. At first, I thought this was a training sports bra. I was like, ooh, surprise, surprise. It's not. It's the new crossover. I saw some leggings drop too, so I'm almost tempted. If it's anything like the sports bra, then they might be solid. I will have it linked down below if you want to take a closer look. Alright guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope this video has helped you some way, somehow. Like I said, drop a comment with your thoughts. We have some more Gymshark coming in the next few weeks, so stay posted for that. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're not already. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you, and I will catch you in my next video.
Like the one from before the previous episode, Intimate Fitness. But anyway, the one thing I'm always great about is actually just heading to everyone's YouTube because it's half the way to consistent betting as opposed to losing self-confidence. Maybe that's the priority. With leggings, to take you guys on. Well,
We were on Amazon, we're on Microsoft. It's like, I'm like, when are we gonna impeach this motherfucker? It's like, motherfuckers costing this company. It's not costing the company.
Because here's the thing, the world easily gets to learn what makes it work. With after having stands out not only through leggings, but also over.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. First things first, I have a couple of announcements to make. Number one, it's pronounced lazuli. Guys, I have been struggling in my own brain with this brand name. When I first heard this brand, my mind just wanted to say lazuli. I'm Italian, I went with lazuli, like pasta fagioli, you know. Bay actually looked it up and he goes, I think it's lazuli, because that actually means a blue stone or something of the sort. I've heard it pronounced both ways, so I went with that. I was all over the place. I was just using them interchangeably, but I realized very quickly that that's not something I should be doing on camera. I actually created a short. Someone called me out in the comments saying I was pronouncing it wrong because I said lazuli. So I finally reached out to the brand themselves. I DM'd them on Instagram. I said, help a girl out. I can't be looking stupid in front of my girls. So then they said, well, I guess it depends on your accent, but let's go with lazuli. That was their way of saying, it's lazuli, bitch. What don't you get? So that's that. I actually reviewed them back in September. Remember that? Their acid wash. I had some mixed feelings. Some things I liked, some I was like, Well, today I'm very happy to share with you their brand new, just recently dropped V-seam leggings, the 2.0. Now, I haven't actually tried the original V-seam leggings. I'm assuming this is a new and improved version, but I was really excited because you know what? I've been hearing you guys talking about this. Second news is that, kindly enough, Lazuli gave me a 10% off code for you guys. You can now use my code Gaita at checkout. This way you guys save some money. It does help support this channel. Thank you so much if you do choose to use it. Always let me know, because I want to personally thank you. Before we hop into it, do your girl a solid, hit that subscribe button. We talk a ton of activewear here. In case you guys haven't noticed, I literally live in activewear, so if you can relate, definitely hit that subscribe button. Over here you can find my measurements. I'll also have them in the description box below as well, and everything linked down below as well for you in case you want to take a closer look. So I managed to grab 2 pairs of the V-seam 2.0. I gotta say, almost everything on their site sold out. It's a bummer because I'm actually trying to get my hands on their scrunch leggings next, and I just can't seem to do so. So Lazuli, if you're watching, we need a restock. So I got 2 leggings, which is 2 more than I thought I was gonna get. We're looking at the spice brown and the berry. This spice brown color was actually in full stock when I bought them. I can kind of see why. I feel like when it's a little close to flesh tone, people are a little hesitant to grab them. Trust me, I've been there, done that, walking around like I'm not wearing pants. This shade has a nice pink undertone. If you look closely, it's not quite skin tone on me, so I can get away with it. Then you have the berry here. Now to me, this looks like Barney purple, just with the vibrancy and saturation turned all the way up. If you look closely at these colors, you can actually see an ever so slight marl design. The spice brown, it's actually really hard to see. You have to really look up close. You can actually see it a lot better on this berry. This darker color, you can really see that marl show up. Now, sometimes when a brand comes out with a pair of leggings in many different colors, depending on the color, it could actually fit differently. With the 2 that I have here, I'm happy to say they both fit the same. There's no noticeable differences. It's not like, oh, the darker pair is a lot tighter or more compressive. No, I didn't notice any differences in terms of the fit between these 2. Now let's break down the actual legging itself. What the heck are we looking at here in the V-seam 2.0? The band itself, very squared off. Extremely thick too, might I add. I noticed when wearing it, I was like, ooh, this is a thickie. Not compressive. restrictive, not at all. If you're someone who prefers a much more relaxed fit around the waist, a lot less compression, then this waistband would be for you. Right underneath the band, you have a thick seam. It goes straight across in the front. You have the reflective silver printed on lazuli label logo right at the hip. They contoured this legging with an inverted ribbed moto detailing. So if you look closely, right down the sides of the hips, towards the front of the thigh, and it even wraps around underneath the glutes, and it helps pucker you in a bit. This is reminding me of the Tala Scrunch leggings that I just reviewed. They had that similar fit. I felt it as soon as I put these leggings on, that slight grab. I like that. It actually helps me feel a little secure, gives a little bit of compression where I like it, and helps pop the peach even more. My only thing I want to note here is when I wore these to the gym, and I got home and I took them off, I did notice that because this is inverted, you can actually see inside the legging, it's raised inside, and it actually created little indentations on my leg. I'll insert a photo here. It wasn't itchy, it didn't hurt, and it wasn't annoying, but I did notice it. The contour didn't feel like it was restricting my movements. I actually did leg day in this. I wore both of these to the gym already, and there was no restriction whatsoever, nothing restricting my movements. It's very, very comfortable, extremely stretchy legging, and super easy to put on. I want to make note on that because nothing irks me more than trying to put on a legging and it taking me literally half a year because it's compressive and annoying. This legging is not super compressive. I would give this whole thing maybe a moderate at best. Nothing high impact, nothing high support. If you're thinking about doing HIIT or really running in it, maybe not. But perfect for my gym girls who want to do leg day, work with some weights. Absolutely. The material itself is relatively thick and very soft. On the back is where the famous V-seam comes into play. You know, if you watch my channel, I love a V-seam. If you're gonna put seams back here, they gotta work for you. Now, this isn't the same as, say, Buff Bunny's V-seam. Buff Bunny places their entire V-seam really high up on the glutes. With Lazuli label, the way they place the V-seam, the lowest point of the V-seam, where it comes right down in the middle to a point, it touches the tippity top of my butt crack. Literally right on it. From there, it's got a pretty nice arch going outward. It does emphasize the glutes. If that V-seam was any lower though, we would have a problem because I can't have it going lower than my own booty crack. So yeah, I can see why people like this legging. It does help in that department. If glute aesthetics is what you're about, then I think you're gonna wanna check this out. There's plenty of room to play back here too. The material, it just works for you. It works for your glutes, molds very nicely. The back seam plays its part. So yeah, I would definitely give the glute region a 10 out of 10. I didn't notice any sliding or shifting. Even with the band not being ultra compressive, I didn't notice any slipping or sliding. I think this material really does work in your favor. The only issues that I have with this legging, they're not the best at concealing cellulite, especially in the lighter pair. I noticed it quite a bit. It also shows sweat like no other. This material has the tendency to create a soggy aftermath. So if you get off the treadmill and you're just dripping sweat and then you want to run to the store, you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to air out a bit. You sweat a lot, you will see it in these. Now keep in mind, I am not a heavy sweater. The only time I drip sweat is when I run. And guess how often I run? Yeah, you guessed it right, like never. So that's not really a concern of mine. That's why I'm like, I'll wear the lightest pair they got. I don't care. I really do want to get into running though. After my workout, I get on the treadmill, I do 5 minutes and I'm like, whew, I'm good. These are very, very true to size, but I think if you're in between, I would gravitate towards sizing down because there's a lot of room, a lot of stretch in these. I think you could get away with it, especially because of the low compression in the waistband. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend sizing up, definitely not. Their Sculpt Seamless leggings had a very similar ribbing right around the thighs. If you remember from my last video.
Like, look at, there's no stretch whatsoever, but like right down here, there's this much stretch.
But I have to tell you, even though the Sculpt had too snug of a contour where I felt like, oh my God, there was no stretch around my thighs, my glutes kind of had a uni butt, these do the opposite. These are very flattering, There is no smushing of the glutes, nothing's getting smashed. These leggings were pretty squat proof on me, especially the darker pair. I had zero issues here. Now I wanna address the dreaded CT. It's hit or miss. Sometimes I'm like, holy camel toe, what the? Sometimes I'm like, where'd it go? It's one of those hide and seek camel toes. Realistically, it depends on how your legs are positioned. I know that makes sense. Given how relatively thick these are, they're pretty breathable, not bad at all. Now granted, they ain't no Amplify where it's like one gust of wind and you feel it all. This has some breathability to it, but I do think on a super hot summer day, you might start to feel it in these. In terms of length, not bad on me. I'm 5'3", came to a really comfortable length. Out of the 5 days that I've gone to the gym this week, I've worn these 3 times. That's how much I'm really loving these leggings. So I managed to grab one of their open back long sleeve tops. I grabbed the Spice Brown. If you look closely, they're slightly different shades. Not really anything to write home about, but something worth noting. Not exact shades because technically they're different materials. See, there's a lot of seams right around the wrist here. This is very snug. It's actually a little bit uncomfortable to even move your arms around. So I have to pull it up just like that. No biggie, right? The actual material isn't wicking, isn't totally breathable under the pits. I'm actually sweating right now. Can you see it?
Yeah, actually.
Can you see the sweat? Is it there? Yeah. And the arms are a little bit restrictive. So I wouldn't even dare wear these for back day or arms, nothing, no upper body's touching this. Now this is very thin. No bra pads, no support, nothing. I'm actually not wearing a bra right now. I'm not. I'm not. Don't look at me like that. I feel like with how thin and body fit this is, any bra would look super funny underneath this. You would see every single outline. And with this type of look, especially that open back, it has a very dainty style to it. I don't want to see bulky seams underneath this, okay? That's why. The level of support I need, not a ton. You don't have any band underneath either, so keep that in mind. If you need a ton of support and you're not looking to wear a sports bra underneath it, I don't think this would be for you. But for my gals, similar measurements, I think this could be a really pretty dainty set that you could dress up. I actually did dress this one up as a full athleisure set. Super freaking cute. Overall, very true to size, but if you're in between, that's when I would suggest sizing up. Again, just a little bit limited with its range. So if you are interested in this top, I would personally stick to more fashion purposes only. That's just me. Now, the only other 2 leggings I've tried from Lazuli label with a seamless rib legging and the acid wash. These don't compare to that. They don't. So if you have had experiences with those leggings and you're like, and you're a little hesitant on these, they're 2 totally different animals. Trust me, in a good way. I feel like every brand has that signature legging they're known for. And now, granted, I have not tried all of Lazuli label's leggings, but I will say, as of right now, I'm thinking this is it for them. These are my type of gym leggings. I feel good, I feel confident, and most importantly, I feel very comfortable in these. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Let me know if you'd like to see any more Lazuli label videos. I am absolutely dying to try their scrunch leggings, so if you have any experience with that one, comment down below. How's the sizing, everything like that. So when I do order them, when they're back in stock, I'll know what to get. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you, and I'll catch you in my next video.
I think I've actually seen anybody playing with a stretching situation as pushed any to be like this. But just in case, I want to nip it in. If this is new,
Amazon
quite a policy.
Amazon Prime was Microsoft, there was a lot of other companies.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. Buff Bunny's coming out with a beautiful collection just in time for spring. Have you guys been seeing the sneak peeks of the cake collection? If you keep up with my Buff Bunny videos, you would know we pretty much covered every collection for almost 2 years now. So every single month when they come out with a new theme, a brand new collection, I'm here reviewing it for you guys, and this month is no different. My top 3 that really stand out would be Off the Grid, the Undead collection, gotta love those Halloween vibes, and the Sugar Rush collection. The Sugar Rush collection really captivated me because of its gorgeous color palette, beautiful aesthetic, really love the vibes of it being Sugar Rush, the whole candy theme. It was very positive, optimistic, and fun. The Cake collection is a branch off of the Sugar Rush, so I'm really excited to share with you guys these pieces. As always, if you do use my code Gaita at checkout, it does save you 10% off of your entire order, and it does help support this channel big time, so thank you so much if you do choose to use it. Always let me know so I can show you some love. So a little background about this Cake collection. The Cake collection was designed to enhance the natural curves of a woman's body, while also allowing her to embrace taking up her own space in the gym. The pieces in this collection are not only feminine and stylish, but they're also functional and practical. These pieces are perfect for any woman who wants to both look and feel great while working out. With a focus on both style and performance, this collection is sure to be a favorite among women who love both fitness and cake. Cake actually isn't my favorite. I actually like pie, alright? I prefer pie. Blueberry and cherry, then maybe apple. Nope, peach, then apple. Cobbler's the best though. And can we just take a minute to appreciate the fact that this is a play on words? Cake as in the dessert, but it also means your cake. Your peach, your booty, your plump dump. And I'm just gonna say right here, right now, these pieces will make your cake look like freshly baked. Very beautiful mixture here. The fabrics they're using, the Elysium, the Nubray, actually it's Nubray, I just found that out. Yet another word I mispronounced, just add it to the list. I don't even know why you watch me, honestly. And lastly, butter. I couldn't even picture a more perfect time to come out with butter fabric than in this Cake collection. That's like the main ingredient in cake, right? Aside from sugar and love. So the butter fabric is 81% nylon and 19% spandex. So it's light compression, brushed and ultra soft. Before we hop into the pieces that I have to share with you today, right over here I will have my measurements listed. I'll also have them in the description box below for you to reference. First, we're gonna check out the purple swirl print set. I think this is the biggest eye catcher of this entire collection. Can we all agree with that? So I grabbed the purple swirl print in the Legacy legging and the Revolution sports bra. Let's go ahead and look at the Legacy legging first. So everything is still the same as you remember Legacy leggings. We have that very soft, buttery soft Nubray, the tri-arc seam on the back, a dark gray printed Buff Bunny logo on the back band. I can't help but notice that the lightest colors of this entire legging is right on the glutes. This could be good and bad. It's good because I really feel like it makes the glutes pop. I believe they methodically put that there just to kind of plump the dump, make it look humongous. You got the dark print right underneath the glutes. I don't think that was by accident. The potential downfall for being really light around the glutes would be sheerness. I squatted in these in daylight. I would say they're about 85%, not nearly as bad as I pictured them being, given that it's almost white. Right here. So definitely not terrible. Passable for the gym? I would say for me, yeah, but I don't wear Legacy leggings to the gym because this isn't the fabric I personally like to work out in. You guys know if you watch my Buff Bunny videos. Everything is pretty much the same. I've reviewed Legacy legging 1,000 times. This is by far my favorite Buff Bunny legging that's more yogi based. If you're someone who's new to Buff Bunny, this is a really great starter legging. I actually started my sister-in-law. She's 14 years old. She wanted to dip and dive into some Buff Bunny. I suggested a nice dark solid Legacy legging. She loves it. That's Bay's sister, who's 14 years old. My brother's not married to a 14-year-old. I think a couple of you panicked last time I said that. The Revolution sports bra. This sports bra has a little bit more material than my personal favorites, like say the candy wrap. This has a bit more coverage in the front. It's very squared off. So if you really like some coverage right around here, you're not a fan of the big cleavage, then I would say this is really good. You need a little bit more support. This is about medium to high support. The backing is absolutely beautiful. The one thing Buff Bunny does not skimp on, no matter the support level. So it's not adjustable. You do have removable bra pads, and this thick material down here is just an overlay. It's not an actual band for added support. The one thing I did notice with this sports bra is this bulky seam that attaches this overlay to the rest of the sports bra can be a little bit snug. This is what's supporting your girls. So you don't have a thick band doing it, you have this thick seam doing it. Now I stuck with my true size small in this entire set. Very true to size. If you're in between, I would say The sports bra you could get away with sizing down. The leggings though, I'm starting to feel like you could get away with sizing up only if you're in between. So just to play mix and match here, I actually grabbed another legacy legging in the eggplant purple color. If you're looking to play around and mix it with the prints I just showed you, this is what it's meant for. One thing I absolutely need to note about this dark eggplant purple is that it does fit a lot more snug than the tie-dye. I mean, a lot more snug. If you're in between, size on up. I felt like when I squat, there wasn't a lot of glute and thigh space. That's where I felt the snugness most. No difference in the waistband, really. It was just all in the thighs and glutes. So if you're looking to grab a dark, deep color, you might want to consider sizing up if you're in between. I actually love the fact that this dark purple also goes with the sports bra I'm wearing. Hey, you want a little hot and cold color? Go for it. This is the Sculpt Seamless Sports Bra in Frosted Purple. I love this purple because it's almost like a lilac lavender color. I was actually pleasantly surprised with this bra. When I first got it in, it looked absolutely tiny, like the tiniest sports bra ever. Thank goodness there's nothing but stretch in this ribbed bra. It actually is a relatively simple bra overall. You have 2 thick straps, a really natural curve to the neckline, a really pretty cross backing. There's no band digging. You do have removable bra pads, but it is very low support. This particular fit and this type of bra, because there's not a ton of bulky material, I could see myself possibly working out at the gym in this. I feel like if I bend down, they're nice and secure, very true to size. Overall, I'm super happy with this sports bra. If this is not your first Buff Bunny video with me, then you already know it's no secret that traditionally, when it comes to me and Buff Bunny, I don't wear their pieces to the gym. However, I can't help but notice this launch, they're coming out with some beautiful seamless pieces that I have in fact rocked at the gym and loved at the gym. So they're quickly becoming gym friendly for me. This set right here. Let's chat about these leggings. The BBL leggings. This does not stand for Brazilian Booty Lift. It stands for Buff Bunny Lift. I got the sage color. This is their brand new seamless collection coming out. They are not big with seamless. In case you haven't noticed, Buff Bunny doesn't really touch on seamless all that much. So when it comes to seamless leggings, it's usually hit or miss from them. I'm gonna go ahead and relate it to Athlete Amplify. And let me tell you why. There's some similarities and some differences. It's similarly thin. This is slightly thicker than Amplify, but it still has that thinness to it. The extreme breathability. Wind, you'll feel it all. Even the way it sits on the glutes is similar. Now, this does not have a scrunch bump like the Amplify does. This has a seam, but the seam does absolutely work in your favor. The compression in the waistband is very similar too. If you look closely at the band, there's a slight taper. It is tiered. This actually has a ton of compression in the waistband and just a moderate low light support throughout the legging. So a lot of similarities. This even has a whole heathered look, just like the Amplify, slight marl breakup. You can actually see a dark stripe going right around the band at the top. At first when I pulled this out, I was like, wow, that's a really cool, unique look, cool. When wearing it and watching back the footage, I kept thinking that my band was rolling down because the shade actually made it look like it was rolling, but it wasn't. I'm pretty neutral when it comes to the stripe. I don't love it, I don't hate it. I'm just kind of whatever about it. You have the same color shade for the logo that's sewn right into the band. Nice and seamless, very thick ribbed band. And if you're a band flipper, you're really gonna like this. You flip the band down in the front, there it is. In that same shaded green, it says Buff Bunny. I thought that was pretty clever. Even so, I felt like it was a little awkward on the hips. It sat a little bit awkwardly, crimped in certain ways that just wasn't very flattering for me. I am not a band flipper. I'm a high-waisted gal all the way through and through. Now let me ask you a question. The Buff Bunny written inside, is this something you would prefer to see on the front of the waistband like they did? Or is this something you think would have worked better on the back of the band? Breathable, smiley contour underneath the glutes. I actually have a navigation legging with this contour underneath. This particular color is not squat proof. It was pretty sheer. With it being so thin and breathable, also comes the lack of smoothing. So in other words, cellulite does show through this legging. It's just, that's how it is. That's how it is with the Amplify, and that's how it is here. No camel toe. But when working out in these at the gym, it's a raw, underground, hardcore bodybuilding gym. And let me tell you, I got these filthy, absolutely filthy, I'm just joking. So dirty that it actually pissed me off. Luckily, I did wash these since then, yay, woohoo, and it came right out. Wouldn't even know that I effed them up. Overall, very true to size. If you're in between, that's when I would suggest sizing up. I think it might help a little bit with sheerness, and the waistband wouldn't be so extreme. It's like a cousin to the Amplify. Candy Wrap Sports Bra. This is the key lime color. This is definitely one of my favorite Buff Bunny sports bras. I think it all has to do with the cleavage and the tie front. The thick straps are a plus, so nothing's digging. They're very stretchy straps, very comfortable. They are adjustable. I grabbed the key lime pie for the sole purpose of matching with the sage leggings and having fun with some brights this spring. Very true to size. I think if you're in between, you could get away with sizing down only because of this mushy extra material in the front. So sizing down if you're in between is good. I actually did a full size down in one of my previous videos just to see. And at first I thought it was okay, but after a while of wearing it, I was like, okay, this is a little too freaking snug. I feel like I'm wearing a corset. I gotta take it off. So I'm sticking with my true size small from here on out. End of freaking story. Speaking of corset, the corset crop, we gotta talk about this. Now, if you look closely, you have all the elements of a corset, all that seam action going on right in the front. This top is just a crop. It's a thick double layered crop with no support, no padding, no bra pads or options to remove because there are none. No option to even insert, none. Over on the back, it's a very simple racer back, but they didn't go skimp. You still have some seams going down, really elongating the piece. If you thought the Newbury was buttery, if you did, if you're somebody who's like, oh, Newbury fabric all the way, then you're absolutely going to love this butter fabric. It is softer. I didn't think it was possible, right? But it's softer than the Newbury, and it's got a little more of a powdery feel to it. Very luxurious, extremely lightweight. This is a lot more lightweight and airy and breathable of a piece than the Newbury fabric. Overall, very true to size. If you're in between, that's when I would suggest sizing down. I wore this without anything underneath. I'm 34B. You have a very bulky seam that outlines the entire neckline, and you also have a seam that outlines the bottom as well. Luckily, it's very comfortable and you don't have any digging anywhere. This piece is super lightweight. I really like the curvature though. If you look closely, they did it right with this piece where they added a little bit more length to the front and then they had it cut a little bit higher in the back. This is the lowest support sports bra in this entire collection. Just like the top, the corset leggings are the absolute lowest support out of everything in this entire launch. So to match the design of the crop top, you have it right here on the band in the front. A lot of curvature going on. I'm so glad to see that they stopped the seams right here and didn't go any further. I'm glad to see them not putting it all the way down the legs. I've come to realize that putting bulky seams like this throughout a legging is just so constricting. It takes away from the overall comfort level. The one thing I have to say is there's a bulky seam right at the tippity top here on the band. It wasn't a big deal because there is a lot of stretch. I do believe that all day wear, I mean, you're wearing this for 8 hours plus, I think you're gonna eventually be feeling that. You know, you're gonna take it off, you're probably gonna see an indentation around your waist. Not a biggie, but I mean, I have to note that. I don't think you're ever gonna see Buff Bunny with a front seam. I'm just gonna say that. Like, I don't think they'll ever do that to you. You have 4 vertical seams going down the band on the back, a really beautiful V seam. You do have a printed gray logo on the back though. I really do wish they kept it consistent with the top and added the actual silver emblem, like sewn it in. I don't prefer one being just a print and the other being a little upgraded. Like, I feel like if you're gonna upgrade the top, then upgrade the bottom too. Now, given this is so lightweight, stretchy, and literally buttery soft, you do see cellulite. It's very extremely low compression, not even moderate. It will make your booty look juicy because of the lack of support, but do keep that in mind. Like, this is not something I would work out in. This is actually the perfect yoga set right here. Top and bottom. Let's talk some laser cut seamless. What the heck? Okay, let's talk some laser cut seamless. The second Buff Bunny seamless set that I've worn to the gym in anticipation of this video. So I grabbed the black. The only other color they're launching in is eggplant purple. A lot of you guys were raving about that one. You guys are like in love with the eggplant purple. Got them in the Legacy, that's good enough. Let's start with the sports bra. I love and hate this sports bra at the very same time. Hate is a strong word, I take that back. This sports bra gave me a boob lift. A massive, massive boob lift. 34 Bs turned into like 34 double Ds. That I was taken aback. aesthetic. When I first put it on, I was like, oh hell yeah. But when I actually worked out in it, that's when I was like, oh, hoodie's gotta go on. I zipped up. I felt like any second I was just gonna burst out the seams. Like, I felt like I was just gonna flop on out. It's one of those things where this bra is so low cut that you wouldn't even feel your nip slip. Like, it'll just happen and then you won't even realize it. You'll just see someone staring at you. You'll look down and be like, oh, my whole nip is out? Okay. This is how my day's going. Now, I know Heidi said that this time around they cut this for small to medium-sized chests. The last round of laser cut bras were fit for medium to large breasts. I think the aesthetic is beautiful. I think the laser cut detailing is spot on, right around the neckline. The straps are comfy, they're stretchy, nothing dug in. I actually really like the flesh tone layer underneath because the laser cut would definitely be looking in right at my nips. Here they put in the flesh tone to conceal, so you're not actually seeing your flesh. You do have removable bra pads, very low support. The twist in the back is really adorable, really nice, pretty style. It is non-adjustable. Size small is great though. I mean, I wouldn't size up or down. Again, it's very, very low support. You can tell even this band is very minimal. So there's not a whole lot going on with the sports bra in terms of support. Me being a 34B, I feel like I was right on the precipice of being a little bit too large for this sports bra. Comfort level though, 10 out of 10. I wore this for quite a few hours and it was great for actually working out, jumping around, moving around. That I would probably just save it for other things. So the leggings are high waist. You have the corresponding laser cut detailing that wrap around over the glutes, right down the leg and wrapping around the front of the ankle. Now, unlike the bra, there's no lining here. So you're gonna see flesh coming through, especially in the front, okay? Right underneath the front of the band. If you're wearing a low rise underwear, you're gonna see the color pop through. Now, this is made out of their Elysium fabric. It can appear pretty shiny in some lighting. Very slick looking set. The fabric's very breathable. I walked out in 30-degree weather to the gym and I felt everything. You can sweat up a storm in this legging and you'll be fine. You won't see the sweat, especially in this dark legging, and you really will wick it instantly. There's still an ample amount of stretch to keep it really comfortable. I actually ran in these, believe it or not, and I found them really suitable for running. It's about a moderate compression and it supported me very well while running. No slipping or anything of the sort, especially with this slick material. The Elysium fabric is Buff Bunny's premier gym material, and I can see why. I feel like my glutes really, even in just black leggings like this V-seam really worked, and I felt like the glutes still were popping nicely. I find this to be a very simple yet super functional legging. Very true to size. If you're in between, that's when I would suggest sizing up. Overall, very squat proof. In some lighting, it might look shiny, and then you're like, wait, is it being sheer on me? It's just the Elysium fabric being shiny. What I believe is one of the most underrated add-ons to your sets in this collection would be this V-neck pump cover top. If you're looking for an extremely lightweight, breathable, oversized pump cover, check it out. This is not cotton, so it's not gonna trap heat. This is almost see-through, really. This is in the Stardust color. This is in a small, and I am so glad I didn't size up for this. If you're in between, size down if anything. The material is very subject to getting wrinkly. The way they style this is pretty cool. I actually tied it up in the front just like the picture. You can drop it off a shoulder, you could drop it off both shoulders, or you could just wear it naturally oversized, full length, covering the bum ever so slightly. This is a very soft, lightweight piece that I think if you really love the idea of pump covers, but you can't stand how bulky they can feel sometimes, like with traditional cotton t-shirts, I think you'll really like this one. All right, guys, so that concludes today's Buff Bunny Cake Collection review. Thank you guys so much for being here and for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you in my next video.
complicated. It's been a long time after this one. Nice. Okay, so in my defense, I actually shot that months ago. Well, I feel pretty safe in saying that she is the most divisive
Is she? Yeah, from real fans, yeah. But from the church community, they would say the gay one. Cause it's all about my girl, Judy Sunday. Ruby Sunday. Come on, Ruby. Come on, Ruby. Da 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 da. I want my girl, Ruby Sunday. I will get down. It's all boy. It's slap, itchy, sappy. With my girl, Ruby Sunday.
Guys, so we had some on-the-ground reaction from actors Joe's and James about Trump's.
Well, hello beautiful. Welcome back to the channel. Oh yes, that's right, I'm talking to you. So in today's video, we're talking about a new brand on this channel. A never before seen brand on this channel. None other than Astoria Activewear. Now, when I first found out about them, it was, you guessed it, through Instagram. I kept seeing ad after ad, smack dab in my face. Instagram's really good like that. They know what you want to see, and then they shove it in your face until you end up buying it. So I had made a story about whether or not you would like to seed the brand Astoria Activewear. They actually saw the story and were kind enough to send me a few pieces and also provide me with a discount code for you for this video. So my code Gaita15 does save you 15% off of your order. Totally didn't expect them to do that. Very nice surprise, very cool of them, so I do appreciate it. If you're new, what is up? My name's Ashley. We talk about all things activewear here on this channel. We try out new brands every single month. This video is brought to you in part by Moby Fitness. Moby Fitness is a global award-winning smart fitness equipment company which aims to integrate fine craft and artistic design into its products. They've adopted modern technology and intelligent solutions to enhance fitness lifestyles. Today we'll be talking about the Regulus Smart Elliptical. This elliptical feels like the ones they have at gyms. This is a very high quality Scandinavian style elliptical that is specifically designed to mesh with a variety of interior design aesthetics. Perfect for home gyms, living rooms, etc. I love the white wooden base. That is my style in a nutshell. The elliptical is very sturdy and doesn't wobble at all. It's very well built, but still lightweight and easy to move. In terms of the functional features, this elliptical has a 22-pound inertia advanced flywheel and 24 digital resistance levels. The transitions from one level to the next are very smooth. The Regulus is super quiet, no weird grinding or chugging. This is because of the magnetic axis. I am in a second floor apartment and I feel comfortable using this because I know it won't bother my neighbors. It has built-in responsive hand grip, pulse sensors for heart rate monitoring, and the classic elliptical style long handles that move with your stride. You can go forwards or backwards, and the oversized anti-slip foot pedals are tilted at a 2-degree inward slope, which helps reduce ankle and knee stress. The pedals move along a frictionless aluminum track rail. It's so fluid and glides seamlessly. To help with the minimalist design, there are no buttons. Everything is completely controlled through the app. It connects via Bluetooth and automatically syncs up to the elliptical. The app is subscription free, offers free classes, and automatically tracks each and every one of your workouts. Here you can find my code. I'll also have them linked down below in case you're interested. Definitely worth a check if you're looking to up your home gym game. You can find my measurements right over here. I'll also have them down in the description box as well. Everything you see in today's video is in my true size small. If you take a close look at Astoria's Instagram profile, you'll notice there's a trend. Almost every single thing they got has a scrunch bum on it, minus their new seamless activewear. They're very flirty, feminine, very girly, lots of fun, beautiful prints. I'm not really seeing a ton of workouts, so right off the bat I'm like, is this gym friendly? I'm gonna go ahead and say after wearing these pieces around, no, not for me. I'm very picky when it comes to what I'm squatting in. These won't be it, but don't get it twisted. They're still cute as hell, so let's go ahead and check it out. I have their Luxe Ignite full-length legging and sports bra in the color beige speckle. When I look at this print, you wanna know what comes to my mind? The Flintstones. Did I say that right? Because I've said Flintstones, I've said them on this channel before, and everyone made fun of me. It's Flintstones, okay? I know it's not Flintstones. I know there's a T in there. This material has such a smooth and glassy feel to it. Very slick to the touch. It is high-waisted, and you do have a slight tapered waistband. Not seamless, as you can see. Quite a few seams. The back seam is very straight across. Now, typically I don't like that. I need a little curvature. Somehow, some way, it doesn't look too bad on the glutes. It does enhance it in its own way. It's like the seams move around, you don't even notice them. Believe me, I've had leggings where it's so flat and straight across my body, Gymshark, elevate, that I'm like, oh my god, I can't wear these because they're not flattering unless I wear something over it. These, not so much. Very flattering on the glutes. The scrunch looks very natural. In this print, it's not as detectable as certain prints we'll get into in just a second, but when actually wearing them, the seam is pretty thick, sewn in. So on the inside of the scrunch, it's a very thick seam. It's not stretchy. It does its job and separates the cheeks nicely, but on top of it being pretty damn stiff, they connected the scrunch to the gusset. There's nothing that takes away from the functionality of a scrunch than connecting it to the gusset, because it literally pulls through the front and gives you the dreaded CT. These leggings put my cooter in a chokehold. I was so bummed because, to be honest, these leggings have a lot of great attributes to them. They're lightweight, they're breathable, they're silky soft, very flattering on the peach. The compression is perfect, nice moderate, snug, but it's not overly snug where I'm feeling sandwiched in. Overall, these would have been a serious hit for me if it wasn't for the scrunch being connected to the gusset. When you squat, you can feel that tug underneath. This is the literal reason why I would not wear them to the gym. If they didn't have that downfall, I'd be more inclined to actually give them a shot at the gym. But I knew that if I were to wear them trying to squat, I'd be extra uncomfortable. Now, just wearing them casually, they're not horrible. I think these are very true to size. If in between, I'd probably suggest sizing up. I feel like if I were to size down, I would start to feel very sandwiched in. A couple things I really liked about these leggings is that the print didn't fade, not around the quads or anywhere, not even the glutes. They were pretty damn squat proof. The stretch is very nice, comfortable around the legs. Like I said, comfortable around the waistband. The only place that wasn't comfortable was down below. The Luxe Ignite bra. Now I have really nice things to say about this one because I think it's very flattering. It's pretty snug, so if you're in between, definitely size up. I might have been able to get away with sizing up completely because I do feel like it's just a little bit too tight. You have a traditional scoop line, so even though it's low coverage, it does give a nice moderate support. This band is a lifesaver right here. This takes it from being a super low support sports bra to now being a moderate support. If you have really big chest, you might think this is very low support, but for me, 34B, this is giving me more of a moderate support. You do have removable bra pads. The straps on the back are exceptional. You know I love a strappy bag. Absolutely no adjustments. I think they really did a good job on the sports bra. I really do. I would definitely grab a pair of black leggings and then wear the top as a statement piece. That's about it. Are you ready for an adorable cherry print? If this doesn't just make you happy looking at it, I don't know what will. When I look at this print, I instantly taste cherry ice cream, which, if you don't know, is my favorite flavor ice cream. I'm a big cherry lover, yes I am. This is their Luxe Blossom print. Now I saw them come out with a white version of this with the cherries, okay? I almost wanted that one. I'm glad they sent me the pink because let's face it, I get white dirty and white and I don't get along. This is probably filthy as we speak, yep. We have some good and bad news with this set. The good news is, it's freaking beautiful. It's adorable and it's very unique. But the downfall is, these are nearly identical to the leggings you just saw. Same type of material and everything. If I'm gonna go scrunch and I'm gonna go showy, I still need it to be comfy. A few things to note about this print though. When standing, I am noticing that the band looks a little bit thicker, therefore looking a couple shades darker than the rest of the legging. The reason being is because this has double fabric right around the band, whereas the rest of the legging does not. So it is technically thinner. That's just the design of it. It's not that the pattern's fading or the fabric's fading. It's just one layer versus two. Good news is, for this light of a print, not horrible with sheerness. I would say it's about 80-85% squat proof. If that's a concern, definitely go towards the speckle print route. But for cherry leggings that are this light, I'll give it to them, not bad. So where's the speckle print? Really concealed sweat. I didn't see anything. It wicked very fast. In the light cherry print, however, I did notice sweat showing through, but wicked very fast because it is technically the same material. This glossy fabric really does help take the sweat off of your body, right out into the abyss. That I'll give it to them, really good for wicking sweat. These are the type of leggings that I would want to just style and have fun with more than anything. I'm not interested in actually working out in you. The Blossom Sports Bra. So this one's different than the speckle. This still has a really long scoop neck. You do have non-adjustable straps. This is different though. This one's a little more straightforward when it comes to the straps on the back. This sports bra appears boxier than the speckle. When comparing the two, you can see that the Cherry Blossom actually has more width to it, which is why it appears to look boxier. This extra width did me dirty because now I feel like I need to size down. I can't win, right? So yeah, I would say size up in the other bra and size down in this one if we have similar measurements. So they doubled up on the spaghetti straps, still non-adjustable, still have the removable bra pads, and that thick elastic band. Overall, low to moderate support. Bra pads are hard as rocks. Reminds me of Mean Girls. Remember? The mom with the hard tits? This is what they must have felt like. You girls keep me young. Do we want to talk about what I'm wearing? Because this is a story as well. This is their Live Luxe front cross sleeve crop. Live and Live, they're spelled the same way. I don't really know which one it is. I've been seeing this style a lot lately. The long sleeve, white crisscross front. I think they did a good job on the fit of this crop top. I specifically chose this top so that I can mix and match with these patterned leggings. There's a couple things I love about this top, there's a couple things I don't. That twist is really pretty, very delicate, gives a ballerina look, very low neckline, so the girls, they're coming out to play in this one. There's nothing you can do about it. Luckily mine are having fun, so they're not complaining. Very comfortable, very stretchy. In fact, it's the same material as the sets, so they're very consistent across the board. You're gonna sweat in this and guess what? It's gonna wick. Actually physically working out in this, not so good. I did some crazy arm thrusts, that's what I'm gonna call them, with some serious movements. You can expect some lower boobage right here, like me just going like this. It's there, nothing you can do. So definitely not something you wanna work out in, but if you wanna stay comfortable and casual, cute as hell, say pair it with some jeans, summer's coming around the corner, this you could rock. The one thing that upset me about this top, now it does have thumb holes. That's not the part that upset me because you know I do love thumb holes. But as I was sitting down to film, I noticed something. There's a second thumb hole forming. That's my nice way of saying the stitch is ripped somehow, some way. It's not like I wore this many times. I think this is maybe my third time. And it's now unraveling. And on top of that, I smacked this into my lip and now my lipstick's on it. I told you, the color white and I, we don't belong. We hate each other. Well, I love it, but it hates me. I don't know what I did to earn that vendetta against me. But yeah, so I got a second thumb hole and it's just kind of getting worse. I don't really know how to sew. Mom, if you're watching, can I send this over to you? Can you just sew it up real quick? Let me know. Call me later. And the thumb holes are a little bit uncomfortable too. They are a bit tight right around here. The rest of it's not though. Very stretchy, very comfortable overall. It's just the thumb hole region that needs a little bit of work. So for now, I'm gonna do a little bit of this. Roll it up. No one has to know. Last but not least, I actually have one of their lounge sets. This is exciting because it looks pretty glamorous online. We're looking at the Luxe Lounge pant and crop top. It's made out of mostly cotton and elastane. This is the kind of material I like to sleep in. It feels cozy, almost has a bit of a heaviness to it, but you don't actually feel that when wearing it. These are really flattering. I know it's not about that when you're lounging, but it kind of is, right? But equally so, it rides up in the front a little bit, which is why if I could do it all over again, I would size up in these. I think if I grabbed a size up, these would be so comfortable and still flattering. I actually prefer wearing my lounge clothes extra loose. I don't think it would sacrifice the waist because you do have a nice adjustable waistband. No pockets. This is double lined, so definitely not sheer. You don't have to worry about any of that. The length is just there. Any longer and I would have been sweeping my floor. I think the top is what caught my eye about this set because you have that asymmetrical one shoulder strap lounge top. There's no padding, no support whatsoever. I don't really need it. You already know. Very comfortable. Overall, the lay, everything just fit nice. Nothing was cinching in. I think this top, styled with these high-waisted bottoms, gives a really nice, pretty look. I think the color's gorgeous too. This is in their beige. So the top, no problem with sizing. I'll stick with my small. Bottom size up, and then I think you have a really comfortable, perfect set. Okay, so now it's your turn. Comment down below. Have we tried Astoria activewear? If so, what's your thoughts? Definitely stay tuned because up next we have Buff Bunny's brand new collection. I don't think you want to miss this one because I'm gonna go ahead and say this might be my favorite one to date, other than the Undead, because Halloween is everything. We also have a new Alpha Elite launch coming. You can also expect to see the new Gymshark Camo and Elevate collection. We also have some more releasing soon. I'll be covering that as well. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. I love you guys and I'll catch you in my next video. But yeah, really cute look. I mean, if you're going on vacation, no, I don't even know why I said that. I specifically chose this top so I can mix and match flawlessly with these, oh my god. Astoria saw it. Okay, that's a hard name to say. Look. Astoria saw it. Oh my god. Astoria saw it is like a tongue twister. Astoria saw it and actually provided me with a oh my god. Let's go ahead and check out their, what the hell is this called? Did you click on this video because you're curious to see if the new animal pieces are anything like the new camo pieces that just dropped, aka super different from what we're all used to? Then give this video a like. And while you're at it, hit the subscribe button because clearly I can read your mind and I know what you want. What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. I think we are all here for the same reason. We all want to know what's going on with the brand new Adapt Animal. If you guys caught my last Gymshark video, the Adapt Camo, right here, that one, you would know they made some serious changes when it came to the material. Things are not fitting me the way they usually do. Gymshark's changing things up quite a bit. I'm not here to speculate because I honestly do not know the reason behind these changes. So not only are we going to be covering the new Adapt Animal, we're also going to be touching base on the new power pieces, new elevated essentials. Most of these pieces are already on site. Some are not. They should be live by the 30th. Thank you to Gymshark for sponsoring today's video. Over here you can find my measurements. I'll also have them in the description box below. Everything that is live on site right now will be linked individually below as well. This way you could just click on whatever you like, no searching throughout the Gymshark website, nice and easy for you. All right, so I have one of every single color that's gonna be launching in the new Adapt Animal, except for black. So for the colors, we're looking at Iceberg Blue / Thunder Blue. Ooh. We also have Willow Green / Core Olive. And lastly, I have Modern Blush Pink / Magenta Brown. Additional pieces that will be launching other than sports bras and leggings. You're looking at biker shorts as well in every color except for the blue. We also have a couple of oversized short sleeve tops in black and magenta, but we need to take a second to discuss the actual animal in this collection. What's the animal? What's the animal print? I ain't no zoologist, but I'm gonna go ahead and say this is snake skin. We need to discuss these leggings. Okay, the question you've all been waiting for. Did the Adapt Animal change in terms of material, just like the Camo? And the final verdict is a resounding yes. Now, I know a lot of people were like, oh my God, I can't get behind this material, but I also had a handful of you say, are you kidding? This fits so much better now. Like, I'm so glad they changed it up. So I chose my Adapt Animal and my Adapt Camo selections at the same exact time. Even though the launch dates were pretty far apart, there was no going back. Like, I already made my selects. They were all my true size small, what I traditionally wear with Gymshark. So even though the Camo ran really small, I had hopes. I said maybe the Animal will not. Hopefully they didn't really switch the material up and it's still true to size for me. Unfortunately, I did struggle to get these leggings up, not gonna lie. Just the struggle of getting them up. I mean, it was a pretty big hassle for me. It was very difficult. It took some time to get them up. Once I did, they technically fit. Like, I was able to get them up past my hips. But wow, the material really stretched out around my glutes. There was a lot less stretch than I'm used to in the Adapt collection. Squatting down, it almost faded to white, the print. Again, I'm not gonna say why they made these changes. I have no idea. But I do know that it fits differently, and if I could do it all over again, I would have sized up to a medium absolutely 100% hands down. But this is just how it's fitting on me. So even when squatting, I did notice there's just not enough stretch. Right around the kneecaps, it started pulling a little bit. Overall, if I were to size up, I think it'd be a lot better. I recall the Animal being powdery soft. That polyamide really added that extra silkiness, that powdery feel, that luxurious touch. Here, it's slightly rougher, a bit more rugged. In fact, I do feel like these material changes help to make this legging slightly more gym friendly in terms of ruggedness. That's about it. I'm just saying in terms of ruggedness. Now, I do prefer a little more stretch in my leggings. I do love polyamide, but it is clear to me that these are now high intensity leggings. When wearing them, they feel like more high intense. I'm starting to feel some Vital vibes going on in terms of the compression. Now, not to say it's the same exact material, because it's not, but damn, like, it's starting to give me those Vital vibes where it's just a little snug, a little too snug, higher compression for those of you doing HIIT or running. This might be now in your favor. My gals that are used to Gymshark being one way like myself, size up and see how it holds up for you. I am not ruling this out. I think trying a size medium, which I'm really gonna try to get my hands on, might just be a game changer for me. I might not miss the polyamide as much because I'll have a little more room, which will make it a little more stretchier for me. And it would make the scrunch way more effective because as of right now, with it being as tight as it is, this scrunch, this scrunch hovers over my butt cheeks. It doesn't grab, it doesn't do nothing. It doesn't do anything, really. I felt a little awkward filming the overlap because I was like, oh my God, that patch scrunch is just like up in your face. It's super invasive to the viewer, for crying out loud. So this also answers some of your questions about whether or not it's the same old scrunch that you're used to from the Adapt Animal collection. And the answer is yes. They have not updated this yet. I don't know if they're going to, but since they updated the Camo, I'm sure this is not that far behind. Get it? Now, if Gymshark's dead set on keeping this scrunch, I think what would make it 10 times better is making it a little bit longer. This way it doesn't look like just a patch, just like this little segment. I would think that extending it all the way down really emphasize the glutes better, look a little more natural. I think there's a better chance of this glute seam actually being able to sink into the glutes rather than hover over them. I just think a little patch scrunch, it's not enough to make a huge difference in the glute separation, but it is visible enough to be noticeable to everybody. So I'm gonna try to get my hands on a size medium. If I am able to get one, I will definitely make a story and update letting you guys know how that went. So whereas the leggings were really tight, where I felt like I absolutely had to size up, you're never gonna believe this. The bra, I actually have to size down in now. There's a lot of extra material in the front, even around the sides. Now, you remember my previous videos? We've discussed this time and time again. My girls get it. The Adapt Animal and Camo bras, wow, they just run really freaking snug. Gymshark must have heard you loud and clear, because now they made it bigger. There's a hell of a lot more loose material in the front. It bunches underneath the breasts. Now, overall, the fit feels better. I have to admit, it's not digging in my back or right around my arms. It's not hurting my shoulders like they typically do. You know, that pressure where it's just too tight, especially since it's non-adjustable. You do want it to be as comfortable as humanly possible to work out in. So I am thankful that they're listening. They are listening. I'm glad they added a little more room to play with, some more comfort, but I do think if they were to update this one more time, I think that right here, just losing out on a little bit of material might do us all good. Now, if you're somebody who has a larger chest, you might really benefit from this update. Me being me, not really. It just looks like it's way too loose and I don't have enough chest to fill these out now. I do think if I size down, it will look a bit more size accurate from the front, but I don't know if that's gonna make the straps actually feel tight again. So I'm actually scared with this one. I don't know what way to go. All I do know is my true size small isn't quite working. It just looks one size too big. Even from the side, you can see this band right underneath lip out a little bit. There's definitely extra space to be had. So I know they made some adjustments. They're really trying to make us happy over here. I'm lost on this one. Tricky. This one's tricky. This set I'm about to show you got a lot of attention in my Instagram stories. Here it is. We're looking at the crossover leggings and the Power Sports Bra, okay? Two different collections in the color Bright Fuchsia. Now this is what I'm talking about with these nice spring and summer colors. This is what I need in my life. So let's talk about the leggings. First and foremost, these actually do feel like the Power in terms of the material. Very similar. The only difference I would say, these feel slightly more brushed, but they still have that silky feel to the touch. Now this is not seamless. You have quite a bit of seams, especially around the band. Now it's a crossover band. The seam is placed at the tippity top, so right around the waist. No front seam. I do think that this style waistband absolutely pops the hips, cinches in the waist. They did a great job with the front of this band. The fit is great, fits very true to size. If you're in between 100% size down, you can. This material is so incredibly stretchy. You do have a back glute seam and a T-seam. The T-seam is back. From the back, it's not my favorite, that design. I just prefer a little more curvature to my backside. It's super body fit all up the leg, except for when you get right at the glutes. That is where the material hovers. The seam doesn't actually separate and conform to the glutes. It just feels like this material is way away. This was about 80-85% squat proof on me. So to match the band, they actually added that crisscross design to the ankle. I thought that was a nice little cute touch. Overall, I'd say this is a low to moderate compression legging at best. It's not very cellulite friendly. It does feel very thin. This definitely gives more of a yogi aesthetic. That's what I think of when wearing this. Not only in terms of the design, the crisscross at the waistband and the ankle, but in terms of the way it fits and feels. The Power Bra, nothing really has changed. They still have the ruching in the front, they still have the two straps to highlight the chest, and a very adorable acute mesh backing. Very breathable, a very lightweight bra. I'm actually wearing the same exact bra right now in the willow green / desert sage green color. So I am a fan of these bras. I think they did something right with this. I know a lot of you were on the fence with these little strap things. Even when moving around, they actually stay in place quite well. I think this is a piece they have updated, because in the past when I first tried this design out, I did notice a couple of the pieces were like really loose. These are not. Every single Power Bra that I have in today's video fits awesome. Super true to size, but if you're in between, there's a little bit of room, you can get away with sizing down. Overall, low to moderate support. But yeah, I think they did something right with this piece, I really do. I also grabbed the strappy crop cami in bright fuchsia. This flows really nicely with the Power Sports Bra I just shared with you. This is a double layered crop tank, so you have a complete layer underneath. Very loose, there's no bra pads, there's no support, no band, nothing. I would not suggest working out in this alone. I definitely suggest wearing a sports bra or some support underneath. Very, very thin straps, non-adjustable. It does cross in the back, so very dainty, a very lightweight piece. I'd say very true to size. If you're in between, you can get away with sizing down. We have some running 2-in-1 shorts. This is in the color Fluo Bold Pink / Magenta Brown. So these are a fully lined loose fit short. If you're in between, you absolutely can get away with sizing down. In fact, you might be able to get away with sizing down altogether. I prefer not to. I like things a little loose fit, slightly oversized. The entire lining, including the band, is magenta brown, and then you got that really striking, bold fluo color up top. This is pretty much their speed. These are their speed shorts all over again. I remember one of my last speed videos, you guys tore up the speed shorts because the lining was so long. I thought that would be the case with these, but do not get it twisted with these shorts. I've worn them both ways, where I stretched out the liner and really gave it some length, and then I shortened it a bit and it looked just fine. I think this liner is meant to be played with. You can make it shorter, you can make it longer, depending on your preference. There's no built-in pockets. You do have the shark face logo on the lining, not the actual overlay itself. So you can hide it if you wanted to, or you can poke it out and have some fun. When I first pulled these pieces out of the bag, I was like, huh. Now don't get it twisted. You guys know me. I do like pieces with some personality. Some of the What the Flex items I still have and love. Now clearly I think the design is pretty cool, but I don't know how I feel about it in this particular color. For some reason I think it's such a heavy, crazy contrast that I'm just not ready for it. So I have the power shorts, the power sports bra, and I actually have a third piece too to mellow it out, if that's where we want to go with this. The power crop tank. But let's start with the shorts. Now this is your traditional power shorts. Nothing changed on here. You still have that dope scrunch that we all love. I know I do. I think it fits gloriously. It's almost like it wants to be the Whitney scrunch, but it's not as discreet as the Whitney. When you're up close, you really can see this power scrunch. This reminds me of Chuck E. Cheese carpet. You know, a lot of geometric shapes. Almost feels very 90s inspired. I think I see a person in there. So we have an overall very low compression short. Again, you do have seams at the top, all around. This is not a seamless set. In case you're not familiar with the power range, it's actually a power lifting range. None of it seamless. Now, I feel like this is more or less something I would wear to yoga because it's so silky. It's so soft. I tried working out in the gym with this set. It wasn't that comfortable, kept giving me a little bit of a camel toe. I much prefer this if I'm gonna make a fashion statement, wear it out, not necessarily work out or squat in. Another reason being, this pattern fades pretty badly. The reason being is they lined it with white material. When you stretch this material out, you're gonna think, oh my God, it's completely sheer. It's actually the white behind it. That still makes me feel a little uneasy because I think the rest of the world's gonna think it's just completely sheer. And I think it just disturbs the overall look. It does fade even just when standing around the thighs, the meaty areas. I have never had an issue when it comes to their solid power pieces. So if I'm gonna gravitate towards any of the power pieces, it's gonna be the more solid colors. So believe me, even if the print's not your thing, they're still launching solids. I just unfortunately don't have any here today to share with you. Something I really do love about the power shorts is that they don't cinch around the thighs or dig in. And the overall just low support, I don't know, I just feel like it's very flattering, it's not constricting, it's super stretchy, and all over comfortable for pretty much all day wear. Even though I won't be wearing these pieces as a full set, I do anticipate wearing, say, the sports bra with a pair of just black leggings. In the overlap, you can see I actually paired this sports bra with the black sweat leggings. You can even wear the crop tank with it, it'll look really cute. Or vice versa. If you want to be spunky down below, wear the shorts with just a black bra if the double print is just too much for you. Really quick to go over the tank top. So the upper half all the way around is the print. Everything below this cutout is solid black. The cutout is really flattering. It's not too low, it's not too high, it does the damn thing, gives a little peekaboo action. I think it's a very comfortable tank, there's no digging. Even though you do have seams surrounding the sleeve holes, it overall has a very pretty body fit. Actually, I think this is a pretty underrated piece. There's just enough print to give it personality, but not be overwhelming at the same time. Closing the show with the strappy all-in-one. This is in the color Sun-Dried Red. First, let's talk material. So this material's a little bit thick, a bit brushed. This is actually giving me Buff Bunny Newbury vibes. As somebody who wears bodysuits regularly, I was very, very excited to try this piece out. This piece is also gonna be available in black. So I had to go for the sun-dried tomato. I mean, I'm gonna call it sun-dried tomato because that's what what it looks like. I'm obviously gonna be wearing this in the summer. I have a lot of black bodysuits as it is, so I really wanted to grab one with some color. A few things here. We have a lot of seam placement going down the sides of the legs, right underneath the chest. So there's a seam contour under the chest that reminds me so much of the Whitney dress and crops. Remember that? This actually fits so much like her dress. It's crazy. So if you look closely in this overlap, you can see there's a lot of extra room right underneath the chest. I have a feeling that this extra bunching has to do with the way they constructed the actual bra inside. So if you take a look, you do have removable bra pads, but the only thing really supporting your chest is the seam. So your chest is naturally gonna bring that seam down. I mean, it's only being supported by that seam. There's nothing I could really do about that other than sizing down completely, because even though these straps are in fact adjustable, if I were to overly tighten them, because this is a bodysuit, my groin would have felt a bit sandwiched down here. So there was only a certain level of tightness I could go for to keep it comfortable. So the footage shows the extent of how much I was willing to go with the tightening, and it still had a little bit too much room near the chest. I think if you're in between, size down for sure. So I am overall happy with my true size small. I do like the backing though. I have to say, this open back is something else. It's a big statement bodysuit for sure. Doing yoga outside, are you kidding me? Getting some sun on your skin on the backside, that's what I'm talking about. The glute seam in the back is slightly curved. I'm very happy to see that. It's not a T-seam. So there's some curvature above the glutes. You have a very minimal seam separation for the glutes. I would say it's about 70 to 75% squat proof on me. So not the best. I don't really plan to work out in this. So as just a bodysuit where I don't really plan on bending over in front of everybody, I think it's pretty solid. So yeah, I think there's a lot of potential with this bodysuit. I think if this chest area was tweaked a little bit, it'd be perfect. All right guys, so that was that. Comment down below your thoughts. Major changes, major changes. With Gymshark having such a vast fan base, I really do think this is their way of just trying to cater to everybody, try new things, see what takes, what doesn't. So that inevitably means they're trying to fulfill a lot of wants and needs. Me personally, I hope to see them go back to the older Adapt material, the one with the polyamide in it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're always talking new Gymshark on this channel, so you don't want to miss out. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and I'll catch you in my next video.
So yeah, I'm gonna call it there, and I'll see you next time. Bye.